Hey, here we are for the big show. Look, I got to put you on this side now because your hair is taller. So otherwise, it'd be blocked by the Packer Outright Opinions upper.
Well, I just took a nap.
Oh, maybe not. Well, see,
I just took a nap, so my hair is like straight up, just like Paul Abdul.
There, you see my wrinkles better now.
Tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Ow, ow, ow. I hate
Thanks for that. Hey, remember what I told you last week? How I was almost $2 this past couple days ago. I was over $2.
You are a fat ass.
200.6, and Sophia was dying, and then
don't tell her how much
I took a poop, and then I was 198.
Yep, that usually happens. I always weigh myself after the poop. I feel much better.
Oh my god!
After you watch the poo show, you feel much better. Anybody who's watching this should always watch the whole thing.
There's some new stuff here. Oh, they're
cleansing. It's a cleansing experience.
It is good. We got a couple people jumping on here. That's good. They'll be in soon, I'm sure, with some comments. Hey, we got awards to talk about this week. Some awards were announced, including a pretty remarkable award for one amazing player from Wisconsin. And then we have Viking Moe coming on a little bit. We're going to give him his flowers about the Vikings.
It's funny how he never wants to come back when they lose, but he'll come back when they win. But that's fine.
I usually don't invite him back when they lose because I don't want I don't want him to feel bad. We don't want to make him feel bad because the Vikings normally lose, but not anymore because they got.
That's not true. They beat us 3 out of the last 4 games.
Yeah. Well, what do you do? Sam Darnold looked pretty good.
Yeah.
The Packers
was it that Sam Darnold was really good, or was it the Packers defense was just whatever?
He was pretty good. I say he looked pretty good, but he was pretty good.
He was pretty good. There's some plays that he made that other quarterbacks in the NFL, particularly in his division, particularly in Green Bay, Wisconsin, don't make. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. Okay. Well, we don't want to get there yet.
What about Jared Goff? Would he make those plays? Probably not.
No. He wouldn't.
He's got some ability to keep plays alive, right? Which is what Kirk O'Chains couldn't do, which is a big difference for the Vikings. I mean, it's
the other thing he does is he stands in the pocket even when there's stuff kind of around him. He he knows what he's seeing. He knows it's going to become open based on what the defense is doing. So even if he gets pressured a little bit, he doesn't freak out and start running backwards. Now, we talked about this a lot last week about how Jordan Love only had 11 sacks. Well, now he's gotten sacked 3 more times, so now it's 14 times he's been sacked. But still, a lot of that is because he kind of freaks out and then takes off or runs backwards and throws off his back foot and all kinds of dumb stuff. Where Sam Darnold kind of sits in the pocket and there's stuff around him and it's kind of getting crazy, and he understands to step up and make a good throw instead of throw backwards and throw off your back foot. No. You step up, gather yourself, make a killer throw. And that's something that Jordan Love needs to learn, or else he's going to have a lot of inaccurate throws and a lot of weird-looking crap dog balls that come out of his hand.
It's interesting, his mechanics, right? Because, there's still some quarterbacks that will, like Darnold, step into throws, like actually steps forward with his throw, right? Momentum going forward with his throw. And even when Love sort of steps into his throw, his foot kind of is going off to the side. He's kind of like falling off to the side a bit. He's not actually stepping straight into his throw, which is kind of weird. I mean, you wouldn't teach somebody to do it that way. You'd think coaches would clean that up. I know Aaron Rodgers did whatever the hell he wanted to do because he was trying to avoid those injuries. But it's interesting to me that hasn't been addressed because of the inaccuracy of the quarterback. So, and a lot of people see it. A lot of people are calling it out, saying, "Hey, he's not very accurate with the ball. He's not the most accurate guy." I mean, all kinds of things have been said, and it's all true. The reason it worked so well last year is guys got wide open because
Matt LaFleur's specials,
he schemed them open, right? So you don't have to be that accurate. You get the ball in the neighborhood, deliver it on time when the guy's pretty open. They can adjust to it, and then you can have big plays. But right now, Packers receivers are being covered a little tighter. Matt LaFleur's, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe you can give us some ideas about what he's not doing or you used to do and isn't doing anymore. But it seems like guys are not as open. Love's got to make better throws, and in some cases, he's not making them. And in some cases, guys aren't catching them.
Well,
you
Yeah.
know,
I'm
that's
sorry.
how it's been fun. Dad,
Jordan Love. I got some Jordan Love videos to show later, so we'll talk about Jordan Love later after the videos.
Dad, we love you. Good evening. How you doing?
Oh man.
Okay, so we'll get into
man's
more of the
beard.
stuff here from this game once Viking Moe shows up, unless he doesn't show up. There were some things I wanted to talk about with him as well, or in front of him, just to kind of lay some of this stuff out. But so you want to talk about any awards that happened this week? Pro Bowl takes?
No, because the Vikings are also part of the Pro Bowl. So why don't we just do?
didn't think
plays like we talked about before we started? Why do you always
Oh,
change the
God.
freaking order of the show?
Okay, all right. Oh
What are
yeah,
you
plays.
doing, man?
Well, let's go for it. There were a couple of plays that got me excited early in the game until the Packers are getting their butts kicked. So let's take a sneak a peek at my oh yeah plays, which probably I don't think you were anticipating my oh yeah plays.
No, because I had to go back in and find them again after I'd already done all my videos. I was like, dang it, why can't you pick one of the ones I already grabbed that were really good? I thought you were going to do a different one, but
Let me do one of Romeo Dobbs' amazing catches.
no.
Because I mean, it was good when Jordan Love threw to him because he was the guy that could catch it. That's good. Romeo Dobbs. And people giving Romeo Dobbs crap. I saw some stupid ass post about Romeo Dobbs. People like Romeo Dobbs is ruining the NFL wearing these stupid caps and blah, 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 and all this sort of stuff.
Ruining the NFL.
That's what this guy was saying because he's a dipshit, you know? And it's like, shut up, man. Guy had a concussion. He wants to try to give himself some extra protection. The Guardian caps have been proven to do that. Plus, he's got big hair anyway. He probably feels more comfortable and more at home with that big, gigantic looking helmet, you know, with the Guardian cap on, right?
Yeah, that's the dumbest take of all time.
I know. It was stupid as hell. I was like, shut
By
up.
a mile.
Shut up. Go away.
I'm sorry for yelling at you. You got sad there.
All right. Video's up. Video's up.
Here we go. Hit your sound.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Let's see it. I got to take that repeat.
Slow
off.
motion.
Oh, this is a saucy one. Packers on defense. Where's my guy? At the bottom or the top?
Top of the screen. Top of the screen.
We got a Keyshawn Nixon making some plays. And I'll tell you why I like this so much in a minute.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
He's backing up. He's backing up. Staying with his guy. He's not worried. He's not scared. Now he's running with this guy. Oh, now he's beat. Now he's beat, but ball's underthrown. He sticks with it. Keyshawn, see?
That was a touchdown saving play right there.
No shit.
That should have mattered in the game, but of course it didn't matter. Here's just the other angle of it because whatever, no big deal. God, I hate seeing Aaron Jones in a Viking uniform. It makes me sad.
I know it's kind of sad. What are these linebackers doing? What in the hell is happening? Line up and play football.
It is weird because they're in a zone, so I don't know why they switch spots like that. But I guess
they're so condensed right here. Man, this was just inviting a deep pass one-on-ones out there. Let it rip, Sammy D. And you made a better throw. It could have been a touchdown, but Keyshawn stuck with it, man. He kept going. He attacks the ball, and he attacks plays. That's what I like about him. That's different than Packer cornerbacks we've seen in forever and ever and ever. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's different. He attacks plays. If we had a bunch of guys that could attack plays, that would be fantastic. There he is up on the top again. I love this one, right? So here you go. Look at him. Just goes. Quarterback's running out. Yeah, there's a guy behind him. But he doesn't piss around. He just goes and forces the throwaway. And then that forced and long field goal.
At this point, we have two guys on the team who just go. Adrian Cooper and Keyshawn. Like, nobody else just goes. Bullard sometimes, too.
Yeah.
McDuffie does pretty good, too.
Like, McKinney's supposed to be on a blitz here, and he putzed around. What the hell is he doing?
McKinney stinks.
He's already running. Darnold just started getting out of the pocket, and he just beelined it for him.
Yeah, he ain't messing around. Well, he had nobody to cover. If you go back and watch this play, let's watch it again because it shows how a smart player on defense knows what's up.
Yeah.
So based on what's going on here, okay, he knows, okay, the receiver is now over here, right?
Yep.
And he also knows he has safety help. And the tight end that was over here went across the middle. So his responsibility, as long as the safety Zane Anderson comes down to help out, which he trusts Zane Anderson, or maybe it's Bullard at the time, I can't remember, but no, it's Zane Anderson because he was just in on the last play. he trusts his backup here at safety, and he's like, okay, if he's gonna escape the pocket, I'm going after him. Forget it, because there's nothing in front of him. There's no receiver here. There's nothing for him to worry about. He just attacks what he sees, and he knows that if you sit there and wait, somebody's eventually going to get open.
Yep,
and that's why Keyshawn doesn't mess around. Look at it. Sam's not even out of the pocket yet, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going."
That's awesome.
And he beats Gary, and he beats McKinney, and he beats everybody there. So it was a great play.
And that's it for me. It got me super excited because for one of the few times that I get to see a Packer cornerback just freaking go for it, attack and blow up a play because you're not pissing around. I mean, if the other corners attack plays in front of him like Keyshawn does, we'd be in a lot better shape against so many teams because you put the pressure on them to make a decision. You don't let that quarterback stand around. You don't let guys like run into his face and be able to give him time to think about it and see guys. Like, it's brilliant. I love how quickly he took off. Like you said, I couldn't even, amazed he took off. Like Darnold just started getting flushed and he's like going. Love it.
Yep. And this is my play 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, Valentine is showing us a little Rasul Douglas here. Ooh. Now we do get good pressure from I think that's I don't know who that was.
The
53.
Kingsley?
It's 53.
Oh, no.
So 53. That's what's his face?
I don't remember his name.
That's really pathetic because I just actually saw a story about him, which is really sad. But look at how the key is this. Because Edrin Cooper is so fast and cover Justin Jefferson,
right?
Valentine is able to leave his spot, right? Because Darnold's throwing this because he thinks Valentine came down to cover Jefferson, and he did. But Valentine kept his eyes on the quarterback and sees as soon as he sees the ball thrown, that's when he goes back and pulls a Rasul and picks it off in the air. And it's genius. It's a great play. Now, he's not, sometimes he kind of goofs up and does some crazy stuff and fumbles it or whatever. Like, that's crazy. You know, like hang on to the ball a little better. But thank God for Carl Brooks and guys chasing the ball down there, you know?
Yeah, that was a really great snatch by Carl Brooks. Like, he just quickly recovered that thing, which is fantastic.
And this is my other this is my special secret play of the game. First of all, what I like is this. They didn't monkey around here. Watch the offense. This is the only offensive The offense is going to get right to the line of scrimmage. Look at them. There's still defenders running in and off the field. They're trying to get them mixed up. There's 12 guys on the field on this play. Look, here's another Viking running off there on the bottom of the screen. You're going to see right here, my guy, Malik Heath, coming across.
I thought about that one.
Sure-handed Malik Heath, who needs to be in the game more. I don't care.
Look how excited he was about the freaking touchdown.
He's the man. He's excited to just be active. He wasn't even active a couple times this year.
Are you serious?
Yeah, well, because they have Bo Melton and, they got a bunch of good receivers. But Malik Heath gives you a toughness, good hands. He's really good around in the red zone. How many touchdowns does that guy have? Like these short 5-yard, 6-yard touchdowns. That's valuable, especially to this team who can't seem to get in the end zone, right?
Right.
So that's my two plays. Valentine showing us a little bit of Rasul. And Malik Heath showing us that he needs to be in the game, especially in the red zone, because he's a good run blocker, number one. Number two, he's got great hands, and he's got a big body, so he can shield corners if on those slants or even on on the out route or the fade routes. He's really good because he got a big body and got big hands.
I'm just gonna say this.
There you go.
When you're in the red zone and you're really close, speed doesn't help you anyway.
No, it doesn't do anything for you.
So give me a big dude like that who's going to catch it and get open and be physical and help in the run game. Like, that's 100%. That guy should totally be in the red zone on the field.
Right. And why doesn't Matt LaFleur know what's up with that? I don't freaking know. It drives me nuts, but whatever.
He studies football every waking minute of his life. He's been in the league for how many years as offensive coordinator and a head coach. And I don't know. Why can't he figure easy stuff out like that? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Oh, man. So are you getting this other thing out of the way too?
What's that?
I don't know. You said you had a beef this week.
Well, if Mo's not coming, then I guess maybe we should do it. But if he is,
hold on 1 second. I'm going to grab my fart gun. We'll give us some silent but deadlies here.
Okay. Well, I was going to just also mention one thing quick is the fact that I think there's a couple different things that we were talking earlier just now about what's up with. Did you go already and come back already?
Yeah. I'm not quick.
Really fast. I was just saying something I thought about when you were asking about what the difference is. Before we did the yeahs, you were talking about, why can't guys get open? Where's the Matt LaFleur specials? Why aren't these guys open? Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it, I think, is, I hate to say this because I don't want to get anybody mad at me. I think it's Josh Jacobs.
What?
And not in a good way.
He's not threatening enough?
Well, here's the thing. He doesn't have breakaway speed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings played mostly man.
Oh, no. You froze. You've frozen.
Their backs are to the...
Oh, you're coming back. You're coming back. You were a little unstable there. I think you're back now.
Okay. Yeah, I saw my screen went dead. So I don't know.
All right, start again. Start again.
I was just saying the Vikings are playing mostly man coverage against us. Our guys could not get open. Now, they were grabbing. They were definitely grabbing us. And as a team, if the Packers should have changed their strategy. Like, if the officials are letting the Vikings grab our guys, then we need to grab their guys. And then if they start calling it on us, then we bitch to the refs and say, what the fuck? These guys are grabbing us the whole game. Blah, 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 right? Instead of just sitting back and playing zone the whole time, which is what we did, and let Sam Darnold throw for 300 freaking yards, most he's ever thrown.
Career high, yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is this. Josh Jacobs is not a threat to take it to the house.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And the Packers' offensive line is not exactly gangbusters when it comes to run blocking. So Josh Jacobs can break some tackles in the backfield and get like 4 yards, but he doesn't like break for 40 yards. I'll just became unstable again. Sorry about that. But it doesn't break it.
I know. You're always
like Aaron Jew.
You're always a little unstable, but
okay. He's more like not really a threat, to be quite honest. Even though he's got 1,000 yards this year, but what's his average? I don't know.
It's pretty good. It's about the same as Aaron Jones, actually. I think it's like high fours. I'll check it out.
Okay, well, that's great.
I know he's had an effective season. You're right. He's just not a big play threat as much.
But what I'm saying is that's part of the problem. Is a lot of the Matt LaFleur specials are designed on trickery and playing against the zone and having a guy think, hey, I'm blocking, but I'm not. And then I sneak around and then I do something. And then the guy who is covering in your zone just kind of lets you go because he thinks it's a running play or whatever it is. But in these man coverages, the guys have a man responsibility. So if you fake like you're blocking for a little bit and then you sneak out, the good defenses and the smart players are like, well, that's my man. And they stick with that guy and they watch him and they keep an eye on him as well as on the ball. So you can't do the sneaky stuff like we got away with last year as much. And that's what's leading to less production, I think, for Jordan Love too, is he doesn't have as many easy throws where it's like guys are wide butt open and he can't really screw it up, though he did, throw some crappy balls last year, but they were completed because guys are so wide open. I mean, just look at any Musgrave catch from last year. He was pretty much wide open all the time. So that could be an issue. I don't know. But when you're not afraid of the running back and you're not afraid of the quarterback running, and let's face it, Jordan Love is not a burner, you can play man coverage and turn your back to the quarterback and shut things down. And if your pass rush is also getting there pretty quick, which the Vikings were doing with their different blitz packages and stuff, that really shuts you down. And that's what happened to our offense. That man coverage on the back end, the pressure, the no threat of running from the quarterback, and no real breakaway threat from the running back led to, some long drives that scored with Josh Jacobs. But once we got way behind and we didn't run as much, it just took us out. Like, we were done, but then later on, of course, we came back, but the Vikings were playing zone then, and they were sitting back and they were letting us do stuff to just waste the clock. So some people are like, oh, we almost came back and won. And I'm like, no, they let us come back and win.
Well, they did
to turn it on. They could have turned it on offense.
Yeah, they did put pressure. They did put pressure. The Packers put pressure on them by converting some stuff. Look, Romeo had some tough catches to keep drives going and get first downs and did all that stuff. So Romeo continues to be a key guy for the offense and also the most reliable one when you need a conversion. Just to follow up on that. So Josh Jacobs has 295 carries for 1,285 yards. He's got a bunch of touchdowns, right? Because he's getting the ball a lot in the red zone. But a 4.4 yard average.
Oh, Aaron Jones 4.5.
Aaron Jones is 245 carries, 1,093 yards, and he's got 4.5 yard average. So, yeah, I mean, Jacobs' average, it's certainly looked different on the season, right? Like Jones will have more big runs and stuff like that, or whatever. But I think Jones has had some more negative runs or really, really short runs too, because of the fact that his line kind of stinks a lot of the time.
Well, in this game in particular, Josh Jacobs had a couple of pretty 12 and 11 yard runs, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of that was because they were playing man coverage, and there wasn't the safety helping out because he was back, way back. It looked like the Packers defense when you watch the all 22. There's a couple times the Viking safety is way, they're going 20 yards back, But, no, that's something there, I guess. But, well, no, Mo, I got a video. You want to watch a video? I call it, Where's the Check Down? You want to watch that video before Mo shows up, if he comes?
Where's the check down? I don't know what's going on with Mo, but yeah, I mean, I got other stuff to talk about too, but yeah, let's watch the Where's the Check Down.
Let's just watch the Where the Check's Down, and maybe he'll be showing up, because I really wanted to talk about some things with Mo here. But if he's not here after this video, then we'll just
we just do what we normally do, which is say screw Mo, and we just do our show.
Yeah. Well, let me know when it's up.
We say screw Mo a lot. All right. It's up. It's up. Where's the check down?
Where's the check down? So let's watch this video. This is just showing me, or I'm going to show some plays where Jordan Love is just not aware. At this point in the game, this is probably most of these plays are in the second quarter or in the second half. And he should know that you're having issues with the pass rush here, right? So as this play goes down, if you look up here at about 20-yard line, this is well past the 5 yards to touch a guy. Tavian Wicks just got hammered here at the 20-yard line. Should have been a penalty, defensive holding, not called.
Yep, getting held.
But they're in the zone on this play. If you look at the Vikings, this looks a lot like the Packers. They got the 3 deep zone. They got 4 underneath. This looks very much like the Packers with only 4 guys rushing. Okay. And because of that, they're going to, Jordan Love is thinking, okay, I think as soon as he sees this coverage, he's like, I'm going here to Romeo Doubs against this corner on the top of the screen, because it's zone coverage, one-on-one. Romeo's going after that guy. I'm going to throw him a ball. He's not even thinking about the check down. He's not even thinking about, it's first down, by the way. He's not thinking about anything about just getting a completion. Look at it. Is Romeo Doubs open on this play? Was there a reason to throw this ball? Why would he throw this ball? I don't know. But if you look here, we got Jaden Reed in the flat, wide open with only one guy on first down. He could catch it, probably get a good 6-7 yards. And next thing you know, it's 2nd and 4 from the 21-yard line instead of 2nd and 10 from the 15. Because obviously this drive ended in a stall. But what's the point of, why would you throw this pass? You got Tucker Kraft at the 20-yard line as a better check down. With a perfect pocket, only a 4-man rush. He has plenty of time to make a decision and find the open man. He chooses to go after a one-on-one when the guy's still not even open. And then the pass is crap, so nothing works. But he's got 2 check down options here on first down with a really good pocket to get us at least 5 yards with this Tucker Kraft, and possibly more with Jaden Reed with a little bit of a run after the catch against one defender. But he made up his mind. As soon as he saw the coverage, he said, I'm going after the zone. I'm going after Romeo. I'm throwing it up. Dumb.
All right. We interrupt this dumb segment of the show. Well, it's not a dumb segment of the show, but it's showing dumb things to bring you Viking Moe. Viking Moe, Ben, we have to stop because Viking Moe says it's a busy night at the hospital or at his work, and he's only got 15 minutes to enjoy his Viking winnings.
Okay, well, here's the problem: is I got a bunch of awesome video with Vikings doing good things that he's supposed to comment on.
He's gonna miss it. He's gonna miss it.
I'm really sorry, but thanks for having me anyway. I know. I'm sorry.
You know what? If you want Viking Moe so bad, maybe you don't get me no more. We'll see you guys later.
Oh, come on!
I'm out. I'm out.
Come on! What the? Oh my!
I'm still here. I just took my camera off.
All right. Oh my gosh. All right, Viking Moe, quick hits. What did you think about that game? How are you feeling after the Vikings handled business?
I mean, it was fun to watch, right? They got to a 20-3 lead and then a 27-10 lead. And I've seen it a lot this year where it's maybe more Flores where they kind of go into that prevent style defense. And it's the old adage that the only thing it does is prevent you from winning because it just lets teams right back in the game. And they just stopped doing what they were doing the whole game. And the Packers kind of got back into it to their credit. And I think the interception of Darnold was a great play. I think it was Nixon, I think, who made that play, right? That was a great play to get them
Mo, if you
kind
would
of
have
some
been
life.
here on time, you would have known that it was actually Carrington Valentine who broke off his coverage on Justin Jefferson and pulled a Rasul Douglas with his eyes on the quarterback and jumped up and made a leaping interception of geniusness.
And also, one quick note on Carrington Valentine before you keep going is that I was super impressed with one play from him other than the interception. There was I think it was like a second down, or it might've been a third down or second down where Justin Jefferson had a short, like Irving Fryer drag across the field where he just took off and sprinted, and Valentine was man and trailing him and just ran his ass off and made the tackle right as he caught it. I was super impressed with that because we usually don't see that from Packer cornerbacks very often. So maybe Carrington Valentine will be okay.
I think he'll be okay.
I remember that play because they were both running full speed, and Jefferson still made the catch, which was big, but he was right. He didn't make it easy. So
and he didn't get the first down. And then I think
I mean, if you cover just like I said, if you cover Justin Jefferson, he's not good. I don't understand why people leave him wide open all the time. I mean, we pretty much took him out of the game, other than one play over the middle where he caught it and ran and it looked awesome on, but that wasn't really because he was good. It was because they had him wide open.
What is that anyway? What is that the turkey?
I don't know. He's just been doing that whenever he gets the first down. That's what he does.
See,
I don't know.
Back when we were in grade school, that used to be "F-U, buddy."
Well, I wonder if it isn't. I'm just kind of a way of saying that to the DBs that way.
I thought it was like the turkey, the turkey neck.
None of the turkey.
Or what is anyway?
Back on the playground in El Goma.
I don't know. All right.
Whatever.
As you were saying, the biggest question I have for you was: were you ever sweating it? Were you concerned that your Vikings were going to give it up, somehow lose that game?
I mean, I didn't like the interception. I think it was a good play, but it was one of those things where it was a good play by the whole team because Darnold had quite a bit of time most of the game, and on that play in particular, he was pressured. And he kind of had to make a decision. He made a decision. He's like, I'm just going to go to Hawkinson and throw it up high. I didn't really see the guy underneath that. So I think, while it was a good interception, it was a good team play because I think they put pressure on. But as soon as that happened, I'm like, oh man, you had a chance to put this team away, and now they're going to hang around. And but then they answered back. But then they just kind of went into that shell that we talked about it before, where the offense kind of gets into a lull where they can't just run out clock and have a nice long sustaining drive because that's just not what they do. They're just more aggressive. And so when they try to do something where they just let's just try to get some cute first downs, then it never happens. And then Packers get the ball back. And so, I was starting to, especially when they went for two, which I thought was kind of silly, but then when they got it, then it kind of puts more pressure on you because a field goal doesn't just tie it wins the game. So then, so I kind of can appreciate, playing with nothing to lose there. But then they kind of got that first down right away with CJ Ham, and then that one-handed catch by Cam Akers, and then obviously it was over. But so was I sweating it a little bit leading up to that? I was like this. I was hoping for a comfortable win the way it was going, and then it didn't. But that's just the life of a Vikings fan sometimes.
Okay, well, listen, that's old news. You only got 15 minutes. Let's talk about the real thing here. I was talking to my wife actually today, and I said to her, I was like, hey, this Viking Lions game on Sunday night, I think, in my opinion, is the most important game of the year that's not the Super Bowl. That's how important I think this game. I think it's even more important than not important, but it means more than even the NFC Championship game at this point. Which sounds dumb, I know, but hear me out just for 1 second, and then I'll let you go on and what you think about it. But if you win, number one seed, home field advantage all throughout the playoffs, a week to rest. If you lose, you're in a barn-burning game. You just lost. You got to go on the road all the way through the playoffs. You're playing right away the next week, and you got a gauntlet to go through. Now, don't get me wrong, the 2010 Packers did do that and won the Super Bowl. So they did. It can be done. But we all know the Vikings and Lions aren't exactly the Packers. So I don't think that can happen. So Mo, do you, as a Viking fan, are you feeling the pressure of this week and how important this game is? The difference between number 1 seed, home field advantage, almost guaranteed to get to the Super Bowl if you don't screw it up, or holy crap, you're on the road the whole way. You just played your ass off against one of the best, the other best team in the league, and now you got to fight and crawl all the way to the Super Bowl.
And they probably stick you on a Saturday too.
Yeah, it could end up being a really short week on top of going on the road. And I think part of the problem is, and I would tend to agree to some degree with you there, Ben, but it's a huge game because losing is a kind of a double whammy, right? And I think when you look at the field in the NFC, there's all kind of scary teams. Washington can be scary, and obviously even Tampa Bay has their moments where they're scary, right? Obviously, Green Bay, they haven't beaten any elite teams, but they've beaten a lot of good teams and have a good record.
They're not that scary.
But but they might, have to go to Philadelphia. I'm depending on how this last week shakes up too. So, I think if you can avoid a game, especially on the road against one of these NFC teams, it's a huge advantage after probably a short week where you're probably pretty beat up and a pretty emotional, crazy night, too. So there's a lot at stake, and I think it's not on. I think it's very realistic. Whichever team loses has a good chance to lose in the first round also, just because of the circumstances. It puts them at a disadvantage. It could be overcome, but to have that bye and to get healthy and then have home field, I think when you look at either the Lions or the Vikings, I think Lion fans are super hungry for it, obviously, and as our Viking fans, and I think it's a great place to play a home game, and it's an advantage. So it's huge. I'm really excited for it. First time ever this two teams met with this many combined wins in the regular season. It's kind of historic, and but it should be lots of fun and probably a humongous, crazy shootout. But whatever team has the ball last, kind of a thing. But we'll see.
You're gonna be sweating it out.
Oh, I know it. I'll be an absolute mess. I'll be a mess.
How do you feel about Sammy D stepping up again? Come on, Mo.
He's been good. He's just been so good. You have to, right?
He's a Pro Bowler.
He's a Pro Bowl. 6 Pro Bowlers for the Vikings this year. 3 of them are for free agents that they just signed last offseason. So that's
and Darnold. To be quite honest, Aaron Jones is real close to have made it too, based on yards and such. But I
got something for you, Ben.
Uh-oh.
With 1 game left to play, so you can take out the whole 16-game season stuff too. Already, Aaron Jones has a career high in carries this year because they give him the ball more than the Packers ever did. Already has a career high in carries, and he missed some time with injuries this year too. So already
that's why you guys have 13 wins or whatever you got.
14 that's right.
Wins. Yeah, awesome.
And counting, Ben.
Well, have you heard about the dreaded 15-win teams?
He's playing though. Aaron Jones also playing. He said, or I think it's been confirmed.
I know you're.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you heard about the dreaded 15? Like a lot of every team that's won 15 wins has not gone to the Super Bowl and won. They've actually gotten knocked out of the playoffs like right away, including the 2011 Packers, who dominated everybody. Were 15-1 and then got their bus handed to them.
Yeah, it's sad.
I'm just saying, look out. So it's almost a double whammy. If you win this game, you're going to lose because the Packers are going to go and beat you in round 2. And if you lose the game, you're going to lose because you're going to get beat by, you're going to get bakered. Anyways, back to what you're saying. You probably forgot what it was.
Bakered.
No, it was mostly just I just wanted to let you know that, Aaron Jones is being used right over here. Actually, I wish they would use him in the passing game a little bit more, but there's,
Well, you were talking about Pro Bowlers on the Vikings who just signed with them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Sam Darnold.
That too, because 2 of our 3 we just signed too.
Yeah. And one of them shouldn't be there. So I don't know why he made it.
Yeah.
He has 6.5 sacks and he made the Pro Bowl. It blows my mind.
That is interesting. Well, and then Grenard, and then your guy's favorite Viking besides Aaron Jones,
Van Ginkel
made it.
Who is that cornerback?
So that's Murphy. So Byron Murphy Jr. He's got like 6 picks this year. So
okay, well,
that's why he made it. He's
had a coverage guy, or just got lucky, got some picks like Xavier McKinney.
Well, he plays kind of inside and outside, and
is he like your nickel guy then?
He's a start. He starts on the outside, but when they go nickel, he moves inside, kind of a thing.
Okay.
So he's usually the nickel, right?
Who comes off the bet? Who's your third corner then? Is it
who's your
Griffin?
Eric Stokes? Who's your Eric Stokes?
Is it Griffin or is it Steven, whatever his name is?
So
Griffin.
Gilmore starts and then Shaq
Gilmore.
Griffin. Shaq Griffin is the third. Yeah.
Shaq Griffin. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because I thought maybe those two guys were your starting corners and then this guy was your nickel, but
yeah,
that makes more sense.
Technically, they're all starters because everyone runs.
Yeah,
receivers.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah. So,
but he's not. Yeah. But he's a Viking draft pick, right? He's not a signed guy.
No, well, we signed him a couple of years ago from Arizona.
Oh, so he's how old is that guy? I've never heard of this guy.
Byron Mover Jr. He's probably in mid. I think he's like 27-ish or so. But he's a free agent, so contract year for him. But
dang, the Vikings, you guys have
free agency.
Like I said last week, a lot of really good, solid. We talked about it last week, just really good players, just good players, and they've all some of them are having career years, and it's really led to a winning culture for the Vikings. It's awesome.
Was he on the practice squad as well in Arizona? Is that how they got him?
No, he played there.
Oh. But he played ahead of Rasul Douglas on the Cardinals. Rasul Douglas was on the practice squad.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and then he didn't get re-signed, and so that kind of a thing. Just unrestricted. That was it. I mean, and then their long snapper, first time ever, a long snapper has been elected to the Pro Bowl 3 times in a row. Andrew DePaul.
Wow.
So, but there's a caveat to that because I think the rule was the long snapper was always paired with the kicker that made the Pro Bowl. So if you were a kicker made the Pro Bowl, your long snapper came with you. But that rule has been changed since. But
clearly, because your guy was banging them off the upright and the crossbar last week.
Yeah, but he made the Pro Bowl.
How do you guys feel about him getting 3 tries at that kick?
Okay, let's not get into the officiating.
Okay.
Because Keyshawn Nixon's pass interference, they could have called pass interference or at least defensive holding on the Vikings about 17 times in that game because it was ridiculous. And I don't know why Matt LaFleur doesn't change. I talked to Jason about this before you came on. As soon as you watch the Vikings corners are grabbing and holding, and you can't see it on TV copy, but I'm telling you on the all-22, holy crap, they were grabbing and holding, and no calls. And then the Packers just kept playing the stupid zone, and they let the Vikings run free, scot-free, get free releases all game long. What are we doing? Change it up.
Yeah, David.
Show the officials, okay, you want to hold us, then or play man and be bump and run and whatever. We'll play bump and run too. And then if they start calling penalties on us, and we're like, what the crap? Call it on them. But if the officials are calling it that way, change what you're doing. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
I think the officials, like I said, would have been better just not calling anything that game. They would have had a better game, except for the 12 men on the field, which was obvious. But outside of that, they didn't really need to call anything. I think.
They called Keyshawn Nixon for pass interference on a bullcrap call because it was Justin Jefferson. A
couple of phantom offsides and things like that on both sides.
Offsides on the kick was ridiculous. He wasn't offsides more than anybody else was on that line.
Right. Yep. No, I agree.
But the bottom line was this: the Packers went for it on 4th down. They could have had a field goal. They would have won the game. Yep. Really, if they had those 3 points, probably wouldn't happen because Vikings wouldn't have played so soft. And I know
butterfly effect, but you never. But
right.
But still, you're chasing those 3 points, right? The rest of the game.
Yeah,
it's so dumb.
But the better team won. I think everybody agrees. Yeah. The better team won.
Vikings play better.
It was a fun game though, for sure. And it was
not a fun game. Maybe for you, as a Packer fan, it was not fun. Mo. I'm telling you right now. I was busy.
I got you.
The entire game, I was mad. I was angry. I was super what the crap's going on out here? Why does Jordan Love have 60 yards passing in the first half? What the is this crap? And then he ended up with 180 yards passing and got dwarfed by frickin' Darnold's 370 yards passing. What are we doing?
Career high.
We pay $55 million a year for 160 yards passing, and you guys paid $5 million for 374 yards passing. Something doesn't add up here.
Right. That's not good money ball. But what do you guys think of LaFleur saying that they weren't expecting that much man defense?
He's an idiot.
He's never expecting things, and then he doesn't have an answer.
What this game proved to me is, number one, I don't like Matt LaFleur. Is Moe gone already?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I'm not a fan of Matt LaFleur anymore. I don't know if I even was. I don't like him. I would rather have Dan Campbell. I'd rather have Dan Campbell. Yep. I'd rather have
Dan Campbell's
KOC for sure. because he's smart. You got the tough, crazy guy with Dan Campbell. You got the super smart, cerebral guy with KOC. The other thing, let me ask you guys about this.
Okay.
KOC's demeanor on the sideline, like there's a couple times where you get like there's a bad caller and he's kind of like, oh man, and you can see him kind of going like this, but he's never like demonstrative if something goes wrong. He's very cool. He's very calm. He's like, yeah, hey guys, like this didn't go right, but we'll figure it out. LaFleur is like freaking out on the sidelines and screaming and yelling at everybody. Like, and you got a young team. Like if your coach is freaking out, like your guys are going to start freaking out and get tight. Like no wonder why Jordan Love is afraid to throw the ball downfield. Like he's freaking out because his quarterback's freaking out on the sideline. Am I wrong in that or what? What do you think, Mo or Jace?
Well, that reaction he had after that fourth down was like an instant gif, right? Just how he just kind of threw his hands up like he was in pain. But I mean, I get it. Like, and especially with the young team, it's a good point. I mean, you have to be the coach and the leader and have that kind of even keel demeanor. I think, but it's okay to show some emotion too. I think I've seen coaches with the Vikings before. Like, are you going to show any emotion? Are you going to yell at this guy for what he's doing? Or are you just going to be like, I think there's a balance there. Right. I guess it is what it is. Everyone has their style, and whether it works with the team they have or not, is how it goes.
Well, I don't think it works.
I would say with Matt LaFleur, there's guys that get fired up and, hold guys accountable. With Matt LaFleur, it's just like, it's like whiny yelling. It's like baby yelling. And and the thing is, if he's trying to scare anybody, he's such a small man. He's not scaring anybody. The officials aren't even intimidated by him because he's so small. So it does no good. And he gets whiny little gifs made of his face and all this stuff. So there's no point. Keep your cool, Matt LaFleur, and figure out a plan and how to respond. Yeah.
He's become more and more with every year. Like kind of an asshole at the press conferences. Like he's a real dick to the reporters.
Condescending dick. Yep.
Yeah.
Media stuff.
It's kind of like cut it out. Like, dude, like they're doing their job. Your job as a freaking he's on a second contract with the Packers. So it's not like he's, not making a bunch of money.
Right.
You're making a bunch of money to take the questions, answer the questions like a professional. Don't be a whiny little sack of shit. And he's doing it on the field, and he's doing it in the press conferences. And I don't like him. I'm just saying it. I don't like him. And I don't like our quarterback. It's hard for me to be a Packer fan right now. Jordan and Aaron Jones is on the Vikings. So what the heck's going on? I don't like any of this.
Well, I do have to go. I will watch this back because I want to see your tape breakdown, Ben. I really do, because I think that'll be fun. I wish you the best of luck going forward. I think a Viking Packer game in the playoffs would be awesome and a lot of fun. So let's just hope for that somehow that comes to fruition.
I think that's going to happen no matter what. Viking Moe, yeah.
I don't know. Philly could be tough if they got to go there. So, all right, Viking Moe.
I didn't realize that they were going to get 17. All right,
Mo. Buddies.
I didn't either. See you later. I did not realize that either, that they were going to be dropped down to the 7th seed.
I didn't realize Washington was doing that good. I wasn't really paying attention to them. They were so kind of out of it for a while. I was like, okay.
I know, but they beat the Eagles, then they won again. So, and I didn't know they had the tiebreaker, but it's probably like comes down to conference, and the Packers have lost, probably more games in the NFC than the.
You know what it comes down to, really? It's the damn Bears. When they pulled that stupid Hail Mary and the guy was talking to the crowd instead of watching what the hell was going on, and then he tipped it up, and then the guy caught in the end zone, and then Washington beat the Bears. That's what it comes down to.
The Bears' only way to screw the Packers is by losing to other teams.
Yeah, because they can't beat them. So the fact that they screwed up and lost to the Washington team, now the Packers are in the 7th seed because of that. It's the Bears' fault again. That's why I hate the Bears more than anything. They're freaking idiots. They suck. Fair. The Bears still suck. And they suck so bad that they screw the Packers even when they lose to another team. They're so pathetic. I kind of feel sorry for Bears fans. What's up?
Me too. Todd brought it up earlier about that 4th down call. I don't understand. I mean, this whole 4th down, going for it stuff all the time. It was interesting, right? Because the analytics all say you should go for it and all this sort of stuff. But then I even saw that. I mean,
take the points, dude.
Yeah, I mean, well, Tom Brady was talking about it. He's like, "You're on the road. You got some stuff like this. Like, I want to get points on the board. I want to get something out of this drive. I don't want to leave it up to converting a 4th down."
Yeah,
and I don't know. That used to be a way to win games is kick field goals instead of trying to go for it all the damn time.
And I could see it in the past when we had the rookie kicker and we had inconsistency there. But now with McManus, we have a consistent veteran kicker who's made most of the kicks.
Dude,
why are we not using him? Like, and it wasn't like 4th and an inch. It was 4th and 2. And like, just get some damn points. Quit effing around. Like, there's a long game yet. Only go for it when you need to. And in the playoffs, you can't be doing that unless you think that your defense can't stop them, which I guess he thought, and maybe he was right on that. But it's just kind of weird. I don't know.
William G's here. Hey, William G.
William G.
Man, he's been so negative lately. Can't pass the ball. Can't stop the pass. Can't pass protect. Can't get pressure. Sacks. But we got a Pro Bowler in Rashawn.
We got a Pro Bowl sacker somehow. It doesn't make sense to me.
David says it was the same situation as the first field goal. Take the points. Yep. You got to take points, man, especially on the road. But I just, this whole thing, the whole 4th down stuff, I mean, and it cost, everybody watch, it cost the Lions in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Right? So how does it not change? How do you not change your approach in big games in certain key situations and be like, you know what? Let's punt here. Let's not go for it on our own 31. Let's kick a field goal here instead of trying to go for a 4th and 4 or a 4th and 5 or a 4th and 3 even. Like, I just don't get it. And I don't like it. And I think it's going to continue to lose people games. And I also understand they're like, well, they converted some of these 4th downs into, touchdowns or drives and all this sort of stuff they otherwise might not have got points out of. But the field position game can still be played and it can still be really effective. So, and it also changes probably the way you call your defense a little bit. So I don't know. I don't like it personally. And I'm an aggressive. I'm usually in the mode of being aggressive, but not necessarily 4th down aggressive, just more aggressive in your style of play, I would say. So anyway,
let's get back to some video stuff after we get some comments.
It says this GM misses on first rounders time after time. Wow. How they gave Gary a Pro Bowl berth is unreal. This team is short on stars. I blame the GM. Well, that's everybody's giving the GM so many props because of all these this receiving core he's built and
the receiving core.
These other things that he's put together.
I don't want to get into that first round because I don't want to do it yet. Let's do some videos, and then after that, then I want you to go off on something because I'm going to give you a little nudge, and then I want you to go off. Let's just finish this video I had up here.
Let's get that video back to where's the check down?
All right, where's the check downs? Now here's Sam Darnold.
Back up.
Here's Sam Darnold on the check down. Now watch, the Packers are in the exact same zone defense that we just watched. Now that was 20 minutes ago. The Vikings in, right? You got 3 deep, you got 4 underneath. Now, but look at how different it is. Nobody's touching anybody. Nobody's breaking. Like, remember we all watched Dontavian Wicks got hit on that zone? You come into your zone, you kind of just knock them over a little bit. Packers aren't touching anybody. They're not worried about it. In the pocket, Sam Darnold's, look at that pocket around him. Jordan Love had a perfect pocket on that last play. Sam Darnold's got guys breathing down his neck. And he still is able to step up, and he just finds the outlet over here. This check down outlet in 87. Tight end. Over in the flat. Even with guys breathing all over him.
He got a first down.
Yeah. Now we're going to watch Jordan Love.
He's got a guy
on this play.
Jesus Christ.
Now, this is a little bit this is a little bit crazier, right? There's guys around him. It's the pressure is hot on him here, but we just watched Sam Darnold have the pressure on him. Now, Wicks is coming through the middle here. He's open, but I don't feel comfortable with that throw. And this is one of the things I noticed way back when with Derek Carr, that Derek Carr was really good at. He knew he could throw to the flat even without even looking because he knew the guys were there waiting for the ball. So if he felt the pressure, he would just like throw it without even looking. But he's got 2 guys open here in the flat. It is 3rd down. Okay. But so I understand why maybe he wants to push it downfield. But obviously Matt LaFleur will go for it on 4th. And there's a whole lot of space between the first down where the defender is and where the Packer receiver could possibly be.
That is a deep drop, by the way. I'm sure it was Gunn, but Christ, he's 11 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's too deep because he took a 7-yard drop out of shotgun.
Jeez.
And now he's just creamed. There was like no time, right?
Yeah.
Now we're going to watch Sam Darnold. This is the Packers defense. First of all,
Balls out.
The first down marker is the 51-yard line. Where are all the Packer defensive guys? Now, this I think this is probably like right before the halftime or something.
Yeah. But still, doesn't that bother you as a fan when, like, why are you giving up even those easy yards to get a field goal attempt? Like, I just play defense. I hate it.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's second down, and you're just you're giving Aaron Jones 10 yards, and he's not even at the first down, but he's like basically at the first down marker. There's nobody anywhere near him. And Sam Darnold's like, oh, okay, sweet. I'll take the first down. Thank you. And Aaron Jones squirts for another 11 yards off of that.
Those three guys can't.
I mean, it's dumb. It's dumb defense. And Sam Darnold's like, okay, there's nothing there. Here, sweet. You guys are going to let us have it? We'll take it.
Squirter. He's such a squirter. Look at him squirt through there.
He's awesome. And now he's Jordan Love again. He's got pressure again right here from Sean Ryan. Got beat really bad. But when you step up, here's your outlet right here.
Just throw it.
And this is second down. Your outlet's right here, Jordan Love. Know where your outlet is. Just flip it out there. He's right there, wide open. You're going to get 5 yards at least, possibly a first down if you just flip it out to this guy, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He runs up, runs around, and gets sacked.
Oh, boy.
And it's just dumb. You know the pressure's coming. It's been there all day. Know where your outlet is and get the ball out. Okay, this is that play I was talking about. This has nothing to do with finding your outlet. This is just a freaking crazy pass. This is the difference between Jordan Love, and I'm going to show you some Jordan Love plays later. Look at this defense here. We got two linebackers ready to go.
Yep.
Sam Darnold's like, I don't give a crap. I'm going to throw right between the two of you to Justin Jefferson. And because these guys are all flat-footed, staring at the quarterback, this 10-yard pass turns into a freaking 30-yard gain. I mean, look at that. And Eric Wilson was real close to getting that, but he didn't.
Yeah, I know.
And it's a huge play because everybody's flat-footed looking at the quarterback when the receiver is running straight at you, and you can't stop that. You're not getting any hands on the receiver to stop the route. He gets a free release. The timing is perfect. Yep. The only thing you're looking for is that your guy can somehow move faster than a thrown pass from a strong arm quarterback. It's not going to happen. You have to disrupt the routes. You can't keep this sitting back crap. It just leads to disaster. Yeah. So
we've been saying it for years, though. Isn't that the way you want to see guys play? Like what? Why? I've asked it for years, and I know you wondering it too. But with all of these great defensive players that the Packers have amassed and all the big contracts and high picks and all this sort of stuff, why are we playing defense like we're scared? Challenge the other team. If you think your guys are that good, and we heard about it, oh my gosh, all this coming into the season. Wow, that's why they only kept 5 corners, because they're just so confident in this group. This group is, wow, so impressive. And that's also why they thought they could get away with trading Rasul Douglas and all this sort of stuff, because they were so confident in this group of corners. Well, then let's see him challenge people. I said it a couple weeks ago or last week, if Keyshawn Nixon hadn't had a Pro Bowl returning season for you to sign him back, you would not have signed him back, and we'd be really screwed right now because he is our best cornerback.
It's interesting that you bring up Keyshawn Nixon. I was going to ask you what your opinion was on. You're muted, by the way. I was going to ask you what your opinion was on the Jair Alexander season-ending surgery that happened on Wednesday. What was your opinion on that, Chase?
Part of me still wonders. I don't know. I go back to the whole thing where he was out again. Was it last year he was out or the year before? I can't remember.
Both.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, whatever. He's out almost every year. He's hardly ever played all the games in the season.
Since he signed his big fat contract, actually, I think the year before he signed his big fat contract, he's been hurt every year. Somebody said he's played 34 of the last 68 games or something.
Wow.
And so he hasn't been on the field for half the games.
And he also was one of the guys that said, he didn't want to come back till he was 100%.
Yeah, he said that. Yep, he said that. Him and Devondre Campbell said that year.
And I'm like, who the hell is 100%? Once you're halfway into the season. Nobody. Josh Myers, who is not a good player, okay? But that guy is battling through stuff and playing and being, because the Packers have no centers. They have nobody to back him up specifically. And if he goes out, their whole line shuffle is a mess. So they actually need him to be there on the field. And his dad died of lung cancer in July, and he's been struggling with that. And then on top of that, he's had injuries this year, and he keeps playing. So I'm going to give him credit for that. And this is probably, and to be honest, this is probably the best season he's had for the Packers. So nobody's 100%. You think Josh Jacobs is 100% with all the hits he's taken? He just keeps playing. Like, get out there and play. You are paid money to play football. And this also goes back to where the Packers have talked about and getting more guys like this. But this is exactly one of the key things the Vikings talked about and the guys they signed and why they're having success now is one of the key things is they wanted guys who loved football.
Yeah.
And the Packers have a bunch of guys, and for years and years and years, they were going on just athletic traits and all this sort of stuff and whatever, and not really worried about, are these guys really football players? Are they players that love football? Because if you don't have somebody that's really into football, that loves football, they're not going to put the time in to reach that next level, to reach their full potential of what they could be or should be, or what you thought they might be, because they're not going to work at it. They're not going to invest in it. And if you don't have that, then you got a bunch of these guys. Then you got Eddie Lacy, who never watch football. When he said that in that one press conference in the locker room, how he doesn't even watch football. I was like, what? You don't watch football? You're a football player and you don't watch football? How is this possible? Because you know what? There's a lot of things you can observe and identify and learn from by watching football, and you don't even watch it. Weird and dumb. But it's the same thing. You think if they asked Jair Alexander his priorities in life, where's football on there?
It's probably about the same spot as Aaron Rodgers.
The
bottom.
Aaron Rodgers, the same guy who said last 2 years been the best 2 years of his life.
Yeah, best 2 years on a losing shit team. It's the best 2 years of his life, which means football means nothing to him.
He doesn't care.
Because if it meant something to him, being on a losing shitty ass team would really bother you.
He doesn't
but the
care.
fact that you can have the best 2 years of your life when you were injured for a whole year and then played on a crappy ass team, and you're the best 2 years of your life. Screw you, Aaron Rodgers.
He got to meet all these new people in Jersey and New York and go to Knicks games and go to the Yankees and be the celebrity for a while, you know, when people still liked him before he got to play.
I hope he likes it, because you know what? When he retires, it maybe for a couple years, but after he gets in the Hall of Fame, he's going to disappear and no one's going to give a crap.
Yeah.
Because he did something that he couldn't do what other great Hall of Fame type once in a million quarterbacks could do. Tom Brady goes to a new team, won a damn Super Bowl. Peyton Manning goes to a new team, won a Super Bowl. Montana went to a new team, got to the AFC Championship game. Brett Favre went to a new team, at least got him 8 wins, and that was the crappy Jets. Then he went to the Vikings, got him to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
These Hall of Fame quarterbacks that go to a new team at the end of their careers, and they all get the teams to where they need to go, except for one.
There's a key difference, though, right? I mean, there's a number of differences, but the one key difference for all those guys is they're all fighters.
Yeah, Brett Favre, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning.
They don't give up.
Joe Montana, all those guys.
Aaron Rodgers. We saw it again this last week. They were down 12. They're down 12
out.
They're down 12-0 at halftime, and he already gave up.
Well,
then they got their.
He let Albrecht take him out. He told Albrecht, "Yeah, now you can take me out." Because Albrecht can't take him out. He's Aaron Rodgers. He just lets him play, and then because he runs a team, we all know what happened. And he quit. They had no points. He was trying to get his 500th touchdown. He's like, it ain't gonna happen. We suck. And then Tyrod Taylor goes in there and throws 2 touchdowns. Interesting. I don't want to get too much on Aaron Rodgers, but
I know.
But they're similar type people, right? Like, and Jair is a weirdo. We all know it. And
never nearly as good as it. The part that pissed me off about what Rodgers saying that, though, think back to the years in Green Bay. Like, how do you say that? What about the guys you played with
I know.
That were supposed to be. What about all the years with Jordy? Like these were your 2 best years of your life. Like
it proves
ridiculous.
that football means the least to him, and it always has.
Right.
And whenever I hear that idiots complain that if the Packers never gave him a defense, Packers never gave him a number 1 wide receiver in the first round wide receiver, I'm like, F you. They gave him a crap ton of second round wide receivers who were all damn good. He had the best wide receiving core for a lot of the time when he was a freaking starter for the Pack. And not only that, in his own words, when they asked him, would you rather have a wide receiver core and a C offensive line, or a D wide receiver core and a B offensive line? This was the question. It wasn't an A and a C and an A and a C. It was an A wide receivers, C offensive line, and a B offensive line and D wide receivers. He chose the B offensive line and D wide receivers. That was his own words. People, look it up. You can find it. He said it. So I don't want to hear any more from idiotic people. But I don't want to talk too much. Aaron Rodgers, it's like kicking somebody when they're down, right? I feel kind of
I kick his ass when he's down. I kick his ass when he's down. But the last thing I want to say about it is that he made that statement, but with where's it going with this? Brain fart. But anyway, sorry, the point. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll get back to it. But the point I wanted to make about him is that so all those years in Green Bay, says that anyway. Think about all the teammates he played with. Think about all the things that were there, and it's just super shitty, to be honest, to like all the guys he played with and the Packers organization and what they stuck with.
Yeah.
But he had I mean, he was the biggest thing in town forever and ever and ever in the state.
It was the only thing in town.
What he could have done with that if he actually gave a crap about people and the state and stuff like that, and wasn't just doing stuff for show. But here's this is what I wanted to finish on. I came back now. So everyone always said how he's so competitive, right? They always said he's super competitive, but he's competitive at everything he does, right? So it's not really about football that he's really competitive. He was just really competitive guy and always wanted to win.
He was competitive until he was a front runner competitive.
Right. But I mean, he's competitive because he wanted to show up somebody else or beat somebody else on a personal level. It wasn't like,
right. It was
I'm a competitor. I'm a competitor that's going to just hang in there and fight back all the time. It's like, I want to compete. And then they also said how, all these other interests and all this stuff and yada, yada, yada. Well, and he even talked about the offense he liked, right? Well, why did he like it? Because it was so beautiful and the timing and the this and that. And he didn't like this gimmicky stuff as much and all that, right? That's why he didn't embrace the LaFleur offense. Yeah. So really, he was never like, he's a talented guy, ended up being in football because he was too short to play basketball, which is his first love. And he's a talented guy that could throw the hell out of the football, was smart, could process information. And what he liked about football was not winning games, not playing football. What he liked is when it looked right, when it was like a perfect pass or the play was perfectly timed and everything worked out the way it should.
No. Not when it looked right, when he looked right.
Well, yeah.
He would rather have a 40-yard pass in the air that was caught and then went out of bounds than a 2-yard pass that a guy ran for 50 yards for a touchdown.
Right.
So he would rather see an out-of-bounds completion for 40 yards in the air than a 2-yard completion that went for a score. And don't you think I'm wrong? I'm right. Anybody who's listening. That's the truth. And I've been saying it for 8 years. I've been saying it for 5 or 6 years on this show. Go back and watch from the beginning.
I guess it speaks to his talent that he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer and a guy who never actually loved football.
Or it speaks to the fact that the Packers had no backbone and let him run the whole show, and there's nothing we could do. Mike McCarthy just sat on his ass and let him freaking run the whole thing and do whatever he wanted, and that's why we could get to the playoffs and beat the bad teams, but we couldn't beat the good teams because we weren't actually playing football. We were playing Aaron Rodgers ball.
Oh, Magic Mike knew if you win a bunch of games and stay competitive, you keep your job.
Good job. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I get it. All right, that's enough about those guys. Where are we going next?
Do some more video here.
One
more video, and then I want to do my sound bites that I asked you to find. If you hopefully you can get those for me.
Yep, I got you.
This is a classic on this show. It's a staple. We've been doing it for weeks. This is a really negative show, but you know what? It's after a loss, everybody.
I don't know if it's that negative, but it's pointing out some reality-ish stuff.
It's pretty
versus
negative.
what's been told. Okay, well, that's fine. We've said from the beginning, we call it like we see it. We're not going to sugarcoat stuff. We're not going to BS anybody. And I think it's also important for the Packer fan base, anybody who actually hangs with us, is to have realistic expectations going into the playoffs. Okay. I don't expect much from the Packers in the playoffs, to be honest. I think they could get bakered. I think they could lose to the Rams. I think they could lose to the Eagles. They could lose to the Vikings. They could lose to the Lions. So is there anybody else left? Washington. I think they might be Washington
too, because their quarterback is a running quarterback who we haven't seen all year. We saw like Jalen Hurts, and
that guy's so slippery too.
That's what we saw him. I think the first 3 games we saw 3 rushing quarterbacks, and after that we haven't seen one since. And
it was bad. Well, we're going to see another one probably. All right. God, can we just get Jared Goff in the playoffs, please? Anyway, okay.
Well, he's our only shot. He's the Lions. I think we could beat the Lions. It's the only team we could beat, I think.
All right, video's up. You got more Love Stinks? Is it still Love Stinks segment?
Yeah, Love Stinks.
Oh.
And you're going to watch some really bad quarterbacking. Let's take a look. All right. What do you look at here, Jace? Look at what the big Viking is. Look at Jordan Love.
Yep.
He's looking here. I don't know. Maybe he's looking at the safety way back here. His eyes are kind of looking over here, but
safety so far back. Just throw the ball in the middle.
It's your back foot. You throw the ball right here, and you're going to hit Jaden Reed or whoever this is. I think it's Jaden Reed coming right across the middle. He's going to get a freaking first down. It's a 10-yard, 11-yard completion.
Yeah.
Not only that, you got Romeo Doubs going this way. He's going to take Smith, the safety, probably out of it, or he could help block. This should be a completion and then run up the field. You can probably get 20 yards at least on this play.
Yeah, I like it.
Doesn't throw the ball. I don't know why. Now, there was pressure. Let's go back. I don't think I did not slow this down. Hold on. I got to slow this down. Holy crap. This is way too fast. I'm sorry about that, everybody.
Well, it happens fast. And I will say that right from his perspective. Okay. Stuff happens fast. But you've been practicing. You've been playing football for a long time. You're getting paid lots of money. Like, that's what you got to do is process the information fast and anticipate.
Right. And even right here. Look at this, right? This is where the ball should be. He should throw it right now.
Right.
There's no pressure now.
Right. Get rid of it.
Like you're seeing, there's 2 corners and they're both behind. You got 2 receivers on the inside. You know this is an in-breaking route.
Right. This
ball should be in the air so that when Jaden Reed gets to this area, the ball's caught right here. Right? That'd be perfect. Like if he would have waited until I showed the last screenshot, he would have had to throw it probably about here, where the hair is down the bottom or the mustache. But if you throw it now, you can throw it right to the bottom of the horn as Jaden Reed comes around the corner. Completion. Perfect. Right?
Yep.
And this is a perfect pocket. And yeah, it breaks down pretty fast. But look at it. This is plenty of time.
Yep. You could have got rid of it.
And now, I don't blame him for this. There's nothing he can do. He's hammered. But I'm just saying, like, hit your back foot. Throw the ball. Is he seeing things? I don't know. The last segment I showed you a play where he made up his mind before the play even started that he was going to throw to Romeo Doubs, right? Like an idiot. He wasn't looking for anything. He just made the decision like Brett Favre. This time, he's not reading the defense, and he's not seeing what's going on in front of him. Like if you're playing man coverage, you have an in-breaking route, and both of the cover guys are on the outside. That's an easy completion right here. Jaden Reed. It is Jaden Reed.
Throw it, dude.
And it's, and then it's too late because he's got, he's going to get creamed. And he always runs to the outside instead of stepping forward. And I know this cup. Now watch. Here's the difference. Watch Sam Darnold on this play. He's going to throw to the tight end, almost a similar type thing, except he's not wide open. He's going to hit his back foot. He's going to watch Sam Darnold. 1, 2, 3, hit it, let her rip. And look at all the guys around his feet. Look at this ball. Downfield, 25-yard completion. Gets the ball, goes back, reads the defense, lets her rip. And there's guys all around him, and there's pressure, but he knows I get this ball out. Look how calm he is. There's just as much pressure, if not more, on him than what Jordan Love had. But instead of freaking out and taking off, he stands in the pocket, makes the throw. And that's the difference between a guy who's playing like a Pro Bowler and a guy who, frankly, is not. And you can hear, look at Devontae Wyatt is in his face. Wyatt
got tackled kind of there, but
yeah, it should have been fucking a goddamn penalty, but it wasn't called. It should have been holding, but it wasn't called. We can go over. There's a whole bunch of calls that should have been called that weren't. That the Packers got screwed on, but I don't want to get into that too much.
It's football, man. That stuff happens all the time.
I know. Here's another one. He's on his back foot right now. Let's look at the defense. You got cover 2 defense up top and a zone underneath. This is one of the only zone plays the Vikings ran. Usually it was man. And with these 2 linebackers facing inside, and Jordan Love's looking at this, here's Jaden Reed again. Everybody's wondering, why has Jaden Reed disappeared? Well, I can tell you right now, he was open in this game. You throw the ball right here. The safeties are both backing up. Jaden Reed is at full speed. He's going to get there before these 2 guys can change their direction and come back and make a play on the ball. You throw it right now, and they're going to be completed right here to the horn because Jaden Reed's coming across the middle. But he doesn't throw it. Hit your back foot. Read the linebackers. Here's your hole. Throw the fucking ball. Here's Jaden Reed coming across the middle. The ball's not there. And look at Jordan Love. Has to break out. Gets sacked. Was that a bad play call? No. Did guys screw up? No. One guy screwed up. Jordan Love. The guy was open. Hit your back foot. Throw the fucking ball. Now let's watch Sam Darnold. And I like this format way better because before I would just show Jordan Love playing like crap and people be like, oh, well, he's good. He's good. No, he's not. Let's watch Sam Darnold on this play. And you'll see the difference between a guy who's a Pro Bowler and a guy who's not. Here's a play action play. And you might say, oh, that's play action. Guys are going to get open. It's not the fact that it's play action. Now, it does suck up the linebackers. Okay. And by sucking up the linebackers, Sam Darnold now knows I'm going to throw this ball. What's going to happen here, if you look at the top of the screen, Justin Jefferson's going to do a route that's going to come across the field, like a deep crossing route towards Xavier McKinney. At the top of the screen, number 3 is going to do, Addison's going to do a cut in, a square in, like a 15-yard in route.
I think it's amazing here when you look at Aaron Jones drew all 3 linebackers up that much because it was clear that they knew they had to stop him first.
Right, and that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. If you're playing man coverage, these linebackers aren't getting sucked up in here. They're covering their man, right?
Right.
But because they're so worried about Aaron Jones, they're all coming up. But watch this play, because right here is Bullard. Now, he's a rookie. If this was McKinney, maybe, or Evan Williams, this might have been an interception. But Sam Darnold knows that he's got that inside route, and he throws it now. Look at the ball is getting ready to be thrown right now. And the ball is not even brick. And you look down here, you might think, oh, he should throw it to Justin Jefferson. And he probably could have, but Xavier McKinney's over here. So he's more worried about Xavier McKinney. He's not worried about Bullard. And with Justin Jefferson coming across the middle, he thinks maybe both safeties will freak out about that. And then Addison will be able to sneak in here. And the ball's already getting ready to be thrown. And the wide receiver hasn't even made his break yet. That's a great anticipation throw on the dot, 20 yards downfield. Perfect pass. If the safety was maybe somebody else, maybe it could have been broken up, right? Maybe if it was Evan Williams, maybe if it was McKinney, he would have read that a little better. So it's not I'm not saying it's apples to apples here as far as like if the safety play was better, maybe it would have been different. But it just shows how he understands what's in front of him. He reads the defense. He knows the linebackers are coming up. He knows he's got that open spot behind. He also knows he's got a rookie safety back there who probably won't break on the ball. But that's not exactly the most open play you've ever seen. But it's still a really good pass. Hits your back foot. Let her rip. Don't wait around. Now he's got a perfect pocket, by the way. No pressure. The other thing that happened on that. I mean, Brenton Cox, the only guy anywhere near him. So that's also an issue with the Packers defense.
Yeah.
And this is what I just put in here because Jordan Love, I watched this play and I thought, oh, that ball must have got tipped. Because he's going back and he's going to throw. He's kind of gets a little pressure to his face from Zach Tom. And the ball is just not even anywhere near Tucker Kraft. Though he wasn't open anyway. He had 3 guys on him. So why he's throwing that ball there, I don't really know.
Well, that one, at least he was decisive. Like he hit his back foot and he threw it. But
right. And I thought it got tipped or something. But you can watch from this angle. It didn't get tipped. It's just terrible freaking throw. Unless he was purposely throwing it like shit. So what, but he didn't step into the ball because there's a guy in his face. But terrible throw. Terrible throw. And you might say, Ben, you're too picky and you're an ass and whatever. And I am too picky and I am an ass. Yes, I agree with both of those things. But when a guy makes $55 million a year, I expect a little bit more from him. He held out in the freaking preseason to get paid. He was under contract. He was under contract to be paid this year.
He didn't hold
out. And he held out to get more money. And when you held out to get $55 million a year, you got to play like a $55 million a year quarterback. And he's playing like a $5 million a year quarterback. And the $10 million a year quarterback for the Vikes is playing like a $55 million a year quarterback. And I just showed you on the film.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I know he wasn't like great with anticipation, but I think last year he was better with it. And it seems like like David pointed out, loves playing scared. Seems like those early interceptions early in the season he's being like too cautious with it. But this is the NFL, man. You gotta, if your guys aren't wide open, but their guys are open, you got to throw it.
Yeah, but I just showed you a bunch of plays where they were wide open. Like,
no, I know,
I know. Throw the ball, like, and he's even looking right at it, and he won't do it.
I know. But if he's concerned, if he's in his head about his accuracy, which maybe he is, and he doesn't feel that he can accurately throw it between, in front of those safeties and behind the linebackers, then he can't play in the NFL and he shouldn't be getting that much money. It's just, I don't know. It was
he can play in the NFL. I think he needs to change. They need to sit him down and be like, dude, let her rip. Let her rip.
Some people are saying, they're managing him right now. And that doesn't look like managing him.
No, they're calling 20-yard passes that are open and he's not throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed, those are two plays Jaden Reed would have had. He would have had 100 yards in this game. Well, maybe not 100, but he would have had like 70 yards at least on two passes. Love wouldn't throw the ball, and everybody's like, where's Jaden Reed? Jaden Reed sucks. No, Jaden Reed's open. Love won't throw him the ball.
And there wasn't nearly enough Tucker Kraft early in this game either.
Tucker Kraft needs the ball. It's Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft. Let's get him the ball. Those are our two stars. Let's go. Everybody knows it. The fans know it. Why don't the Packers know it? We had Aaron Jones sitting on the bench for 2 years of Mike McCarthy. Everybody knew he was the man. Finally, he got to play with LaFleur brings him in, and he's a freaking monster. Why do the fans know stuff and the coaches don't? Speaking of that, can you please find that sound, the two sound bites? Can you play them for me?
Yeah, sure. I got you. Sometimes I get crackly wackly when I pull this up, so I'll try not to talk. But here we go.
Well, I just want people to hear the dichotomy of Matt LaFleur and his coaching style, or at least his responses to players on his team, and how he gives out credit and how he is cautious with some players and not cautious with other players.
All right, here's Matt LaFleur. I'm not sure if I'm wacky and cracky, but here he is.
Is this the first one? This should be Edgerrin. This is his comments on Edgerrin Cooper and how he makes so many splash plays. By the way, real quick, Edgerrin Cooper, 10 tackles in this game. 4 of them were tackled for loss, which is a game-changing type thing.
Yeah.
4 tackles for loss in one game is already a game-changing. Somebody said it's the first rookie to do that since I don't know who, but it was like a long time ago. It's like an amazing stat. Like no Packer has done it in a long time. That's for sure.
It's way better than just pissing around.
This is just like rookies in the NFL, not like, it's a stat, whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying Packer stat. Like no Packers have ever done this, rookies. This is a NFL stat. No rookie in the NFL has done this for like 10, 15 years or something.
Here we go. Question by a friend of the show, Bill Hubert.
Edgerrin played all but one snap yesterday. Is that the next step in his progression? And what did you think of the impact he had 4 TFLs yesterday?
Yeah, I thought he made a lot of splash plays, but there was a lot of plays that we got to make that really hurt us as well. So I'd say it was a mixed bag.
What the hell does that mean? A lot of plays we got to make that really hurt us as well?
Look at his attitude. His head not like, I mean, he's so like, I don't even know. Like, no, Bill, I don't care about 4 tackles for loss. This guy needs to stop playing like crap on all these other plays. He has to be 100% perfect, apparently. And he's a rookie who was hurt all preseason and barely played. And then he was hurt for halfway in the middle of the season. And whenever he's in the game, he makes plays. Yeah, he screws up a couple times. Yippee freaking skip. I just showed you Jordan Love play like dog piss for a whole bunch of plays. He had 60 yards in the first half of the game and yards passing. But Edgerrin Cooper needs to clean up his mess as a rookie? F you, Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. And his attitude was ridiculous there.
Right. I don't get it.
Like,
I don't get
as a coach, and you have a young stud, you should be like, oh, man, I am so – you know what? When he comes in the field, he is making plays. It's exciting for the fans. And you know what? It's exciting for me as a coach. I'm excited to have him on my team. He's a young player. There's a couple times in the game where he screws up. We got to fix some of that up. But I'm telling you, the sky is the limit for this guy. I love it. They talk about Kenny Clark. They talk about all these other guys. They talk so glowingly about him. Why is Edgerrin Cooper get a comment poo-pooed on his ass within 1 second. Like, he didn't even let Bill Huber finish the question before he was already taking a dump on his question. That's ridiculous.
Remember how I told you
answered the question better as some schlub on the street than Matt LaFleur did.
I told you the answer to this. This was all been proven by who the Packers choose to pay a bunch of money to. The Packers do not, they're not interested in production. They are interested in these guys that they project to be superstars or great.
Edgerrin Cooper is a 6'3", 245-pound monster who is projected to be a superstar. I
know. I understand. But what I'm telling you is this is what the Packers do. They do not value production nearly as much as whatever the hell they think is important. I don't know what it is then, but they clearly don't value production. And for him to bring up splash plays and downplay splash plays, he used to celebrate, make a big deal about Zadarius Smith making his splash play
a game. And everybody talked about how great he was. Edgerrin Cooper makes like 5 or 6 amazing plays a game in coverage, in the blitzes, stopping the run, like all kinds of stuff. He makes more plays in one. He's made more plays in one game than Zadarius Smith plays in a whole year. Yet they talk so much high about Zadarius Smith, and they don't say and they're poo-pooing Cooper, and he's a rookie. What the fuck, Matt LaFleur?
And Jair Alexander makes one pass breakup in a game and makes a big deal about it, and then everybody say how great he is. Give me a freaking break. This is bullshit.
That's right, play the next clip now. Now play the next clip.
All right, set it up here again.
Watch how different it is when you hear the next clip.
37 here. All right. We got you. I'm bringing you back up, Matt LaFleur. Let's hear your BS again. Matt LaFleur, your head coach. Paid well.
This is Jordan Love.
Third down offense. That's something that Jordan last year was just lights out pretty much all year on third down. When it comes to getting better on that down, does it start with Jordan? Is there where do you want to see this offense get better?
Yeah, it starts with everybody. It starts with me and our coaches, and then it goes to our players, and you got to be on top of it in terms of pass protection, and then the routes got to be detailed, and then we got to make accurate throws. So it's not just the quarterback. I know we all want to just single somebody out and say that's it, but it's collectively, it's all of us, myself as much as anybody.
Can you believe that?
This is the same press conference. Hold on.
The same exact press conference. Exact press conference.
I know we all just want to single somebody out, but it's just about everybody. It's about all the things. And
so the $55 million a year quarterback is protected with, it's on me, it's on the coaches, it's the protection, it's the wide receivers' routes. Then he mentions you have to make a good throw. He mentions everything else before you have to make a good throw. The $55 million a year quarterback. The rookie second-round pick who was injured all offseason and injured for half of the game, who makes splash plays continuously and screws up 2 or 3, 4 or 5 times a game, but makes 10 awesome plays. Oh, hold up. Immediately poo-poos the question, says the guy's got to work on not screwing up all the time. Yeah, splash plays are great, but don't screw up all the time. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
The same press conference, the same coach. What the hell are we talking about? A rookie gets treated like a veteran, and a veteran in his 5th year, making $55 million a year, is protected like a rookie. It makes no sense. This is my beef for today. Matt LaFleur, stop being a pussy. When your quarterback plays like crap, call it out. You don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. You don't have Mr. Mr. Delicate Genius, as Mike Florio says, Mr. Put you in the island of Aaron Rodgers Island if you piss him off. Coach your freaking players. And when a guy makes that much money and he screws up, you say, yeah, our quarterback needs to be better for us to win these games. When we're playing the best teams of the best teams, our impact players, that's what you say. And then you can mention other things, but you start with, yes, he's the leader of my team. He's the highest paid player. He's the guy who has to play better. And he will be. And we're going to try to do our best to make him better. I'll coach him the best I can. That falls on me. We got to get better protection. We had protection this last game. and some of the receivers maybe weren't running precise routes. Then you mentioned those later, but you start with what the problem. And the question wasn't even about Jordan Love; it was about third down inefficiencies and how is it Jordan Love's issue? Like last year, you guys were better at it. Was what Ryan Wood said, and now this year you're pretty stinky at it. What's the difference? Why do you guys suck at it this year? Could it possibly be Jordan Love's playing like crap because his numbers aren't as good? That's pretty much what he was saying, and so I don't know. I just found it ridiculous, and I haven't listened to all Matt LaFleur's I haven't listened to Matt LaFleur press conference in probably months. This is the first one I actually watched in a long time, and it just took me this one to watch and go like, wow. Like, I don't know. I don't like him. I don't like his demeanor on the sidelines. I don't like his demeanor in the press conferences. And I don't like the way he's coaching his players. If you have a rookie, you have to treat him with a little more leniency. And when you have a veteran quarterback making $55 million a year, you got to freaking get on that guy. And I think that's why Jordan Love's not making plays too. And maybe they did get on him, and now Jordan Love's afraid. I don't know. Grant's making a crap ton of noise over here, so I'm going to mute myself and yell at him, and then you can talk.
You're okay. It's not too bad. I feel bad. I tried to play the music underneath you as you were going on it, but what happened was it like cut out a little bit. So I feel bad about that. So I turned it off right away. But look, when does the accountability start? If you want to talk, you cannot do this again. You cannot do this again with your next quarterback. We had 30 years pretty much of quarterbacks who did not have to be held to account. I mean, aside from Favre's first few years, right? Mike Holmgren held him accountable.
Yes, and he played his best until he went to the Vikings.
Yes, that's why he played. That's why he had 3 MVP seasons in a row, because Mike Holmgren taught him and reined him in and held him accountable. After that, he wasn't held accountable by anybody. Then Aaron Rodgers was held accountable initially for a couple of years, but as soon as he won a Super Bowl, boop, and then an MVP immediately following that, no more accountable for him because things were going great. And as soon as they flipped or turned, never his fault. Okay, and all the excuses came. We cannot have another career of the first couple of years or a year and a half or 2 years, guys, okay, we're teaching him how to play and he's got to do certain things and whatever. And now all of a sudden we flip to not accountable again. I mean, look, last year when Love was struggling early on, week 10, Brian Gutekunst at his press conference, it was like, yeah, this next, these last, 7 games or whatever, are going to be really important stretch for Jordan to see whatever. He kind of made an ominous, vague statement about his own future, whether they would give him money and sign him back. And now all of a sudden, because you gave him the money, now we don't have to, he's not accountable anymore.
Yeah, I know he should be more accountable. But here, and the other thing that you said is really interesting though, too, is Brett Favre didn't become, like this guy who could do whatever he wanted until after he won a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers didn't become this guy who could do whatever he wanted and got no, accountability until after he won a Super Bowl. What the hell's Jordan Love done? He had 8 weeks of good football last year, and they're treating him like he's freaking like a superstar who won a Super Bowl. What are we talking about? Now, maybe he has a really weak psyche, and if Matt LaFleur says shit about him in a press conference, he's going to freak out and blow a nut and play like crap. I don't know, and maybe LaFleur knows it, so he's got to poo-poo it and be very. But he's been like this all year. He's been deflecting blame on Love all year long, and it's got to stop. I'm not saying you call the guy out, right? But stop deflecting the blame. Just be honest. And then also promote your young players. Like even when Evan Williams was making plays, he wasn't talking. He wasn't like, he's making plays, but he's still screwing stuff up. Like that's Matt LaFleur's MO this year. The defensive players, but then when it's an offensive player who makes plays, oh my God. Oh, he's so great. He's so great. He's so great. And then all these fans think that Christian Watson is a game changer. He's not. Watch George Pickens, the guy that I wanted them to take. Watch George Pickens with the Steelers. That guy is a game changer. Now he's a head case, so I'm glad the Packers didn't take him. But he's a change. He's a difference maker. So I don't know. That's my say.
Yeah,
LaFleur, you're really pissing me off, and I don't quite know how to do it. And I'm showing everybody this is legit stuff. This is right from the horse's mouth. Like it's kind of ridiculous how he's acting. with his players, in my opinion. Now, I don't know what it's like one-on-one with his players in the locker room. Hopefully it's better. Hopefully he's encouraging to Edgerrin Cooper, and hopefully he's holding Jordan Love accountability inside, 1265 that we can't see. But as far as guys outside looking in, from what we're hearing from him, it's the opposite.
Yeah. And it's the opposite of what it should be based on where the players are in their career and how much they're being paid. I mean, I get that, the trend was find your quarterback and then pay him, because to keep him, he's your quarterback. And so the going rate, if you were going to keep him and sign him long term, that was, 50 million plus or whatever. But what are we talking about here? Are you really telling me Joe Burrow and Jordan Love are on the same level? Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence are on the same level? Aren't those the guys that all signed for like 55 million or whatever this last offseason? I mean, you're muted, Ben. Sorry, but Joe Burrow is like a maniac. I mean, I know he plays on a team that kind of sucks, but he's having a great season and playing his ass off. And
Joe Burrow's an MVP candidate, dude. And
no, I know
he got paid last year. He got paid the year before.
But they're making the same amount of money.
I think, yeah, they're close. Yeah.
Yeah. I
mean,
also,
also, here's the thing. Trevor Lawrence is making a bunch of money and he stinks. And
I said that.
making a bunch of money and he stinks and he's hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, and Daniel Jones got paid $40-something million a year and he got cut and he's on the Vikings practice squad. So,
and Kirk O'Chain,
we spoke this many times, Jace, about how like this quarterback money and now the wide receiver money.
Yeah.
And also the Kenny Clark money, $25 million a year for doing nothing. It's kind of ridiculous how much money we have in guys that really don't produce. I mean, Rashawn Gary,
and
Kenny Clark, Jair Alexander, Jordan Love, none of them are. They're paid to be superstars, and they're not. They're not even good.
Or
they're not on the field.
The Packers GM loves to pay guys who don't have much impact, partly because they're not that good of players and partly because they're injury prone. Or
and they were his first round picks.
One or the other. And Jair is so damn injury prone, and then he's not really that good when he's on the field, but he's definitely not good when he's off the field because he can't do anything, and he's missed a ton of games. So what am I going to hear? And then I saw some crap. I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy. We finally now here's the. Yeah, I know the comparisons have been made, right? And I saw a lot of comments online too about Jair's the new David Bakhtiari and da-da-da-da-da and all this sort of stuff, right?
David Bakhtiari is a Pro Bowl star.
Yes, there's a huge difference. David Bakhtiari was a reliable. I mean, he played every freaking game for like 8 years, right? Never missed a game. Battled his ass off. Was a Pro Bowl, All-Pro. Actual All-Pro and Pro Bowl.
Fourth round draft pick who had to bust his ass.
At left tackle, another premium position that we love to draft for. But the dude was awesome until he got hurt. So
on his third contract, not his second contract with the team.
Right. So it's not even close. Jair is not the new David Bakhtiari. Now, we said it after what it was like after the first time he tried to come back or after the second time he tried to come back and it wasn't working. We're like, you got to just be done with this. You can't pay him for 3 years of not playing, but
they did.
And then
and that's why Jair needs to be cut they need to cut him this offseason. And Andy Herman talked about it. If you want to watch a really thorough going over the salary cap. It's like 50 minutes of him going over to Jair Alexander, and it's good stuff because he talks about the implications. And people were talking about, it's a $6 million savings on the cap next year. But he said not only is that an issue, is if he's on the roster next year, you might say, you can pay $6 million for Jair Alexander because we've already paid him the $17 million or whatever it is that or $18 million that's also on the cap for next year. Well, that's already like paid, right? But so we'd save $6 million by cutting him. But he said this too. He said if he's on the roster next year, then his money for the following year is also counted. And then that's going to be even more. So if you cut him after the next year, then you end up paying him $17 million more this year, actually, because of the way that everything's worked out.
Ooh.
So actually, if you think about it that way, it's actually paying $17 million for 1 year of Jair Alexander this year if you don't cut him, because you're going to cut him the next year after that because his contract balloons to crazy numbers. So, or you'd have to restructure it and all this other crap. So Eddie Herman's like, we got to cut him. Like, this is ridiculous. And he's like, Eddie Herman's like, oh, I love Jair. He's so good. He was always such a good player, and all the and blah blah blah. And he's like, but this is at this point, it just makes more sense. Are you willing to pay $17 million a year or $17 million for 1 year of Jair Alexander who hasn't played a full season in 3 years? No, you got to cut him this offseason. Hootie Coons, you screwed up again.
A new name on here, JJL 2004 says, I'd cut Jair. Locker room seems better without him around. And I agree with you.
I don't know about that. I think he's a key. I think the locker room is good with him. I think the players like Jair. I think they do.
Well, just because he's ridiculous.
He was breaking down after the games, he was breaking down huddles and stuff. He was like their leader.
Come on. But then the same person, JJL 2004 says Jair would look good in purple and gold. Take him.
He would look good because we school his ass left and right.
Exactly. This is my question.
Run Josh Jacobs at him every play.
This is my question to you and anybody in the chat and anybody that watches this video after. I don't care. My question to you is, if you're a Packer fan, are you concerned that Jair Alexander, Kenny Clark, Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness, name your Packer,
He's so bad I forgot about him.
Name your high-priced or high draft pick Packer are going to go to another team and tear it up.
No. I'm not worried.
100% no. 100% no. If that would actually happen, I'll tell you one thing. It would be the same sort of Zadarius Smith effect. There might be an initial splash surge and then fade away. That's what you'd get from these guys because that's who these guys are. That's who all of these guys, the Packers draft high and pay, are. You know, someone who we didn't draft, and this is, I'm dovetailing in. Awards were given out this week. I have to say this because it is, and we're still on Jair, and I wanted to compare. So the Steelers, Ben, I don't know. Do the Packers do team MVPs? Do they vote on team MVPs? I never really.
No, the Steelers do, but I don't think the Packers do.
Okay, so the Steelers voted on team MVPs, and TJ Watt won the MVP team MVP award for the 5th time in 8 seasons. He's been in the league for 8 years. This is his 8th season. He's won it 5 times. He's been the Steelers MVP, voted on by his teammates and players 5 times, which is a record for the organization. Okay. Let's just go over some stuff from TJ Watt this year. He has 61 tackles, 11.5 sacks, 19 tackles for a loss, 27 quarterback hits, 6 forced fumbles, 4 passes defensed, 3 strip sacks, 2 fumble recoveries. He is the only player in the NFL that ranks among the top 6 in the league in strip sacks, forced fumbles, quarterback hits, fumble recoveries, sacks, and tackles for a loss. TJ Watt.
Why do you have to bring that up?
Because.
Why do you got to bring that up? It just makes everybody mad because of Kevin King. Why do you do this? Why do you do this?
Also listen to this, because the guy's a Wisconsin guy. Grew up in Wisconsin, played for Wisconsin, should still be playing in Wisconsin. He is the second fastest player to reach 100 sacks. He's at 108 sacks right now. Second fastest player to reach 100 sacks, doing it in 109 career games. The only person faster was Reggie White in 96 games. He's also only one of 3 players to reach 100 career sacks before the age of 30. He's only 30 years old, Ben.
Well, before the age of 30 or at the age of 30?
Before the age of 30. Well, he's 30 now, but he got his 100 sacks before he turned 30. He turned 30 during the season at some point.
Okay.
So that got me thinking, about how awesome that dude is and how the Packers have drafted all these other guys. But here's a guy that was sitting in their lap and they didn't draft, and we all know it. And it pissed off Corey so much that he said he'd never forgive the Packers for not drafting TJ Watt. So I wanted to look at his career stuff because I was like, okay, well, what is he? Let's just sneak a peek at TJ Watt's career. Okay, 8 years. This is the impact that could have
Dude,
been.
you're
Right?
just gonna make me mad.
No,
Yes,
you need to listen to it.
No, I don't want to listen.
Team
Just make me mad.
MVP 5 times out of 8 seasons in Pittsburgh. All right, 120 games he's played in. 120 games in those 8 years. He had 1 year where he only played 10 games. Otherwise, he was basically every game. Do you know he has 7 interceptions?
That's more than Jair.
No, it's not more, but it's
okay.
It's comparable. It's comparable. 7 interceptions. He has 49 passes defended. He's an outside linebacker. 49 passes.
That's more than Jair.
It's not more, but it's pretty impressive. 33 forced fumbles.
That's definitely more than Jair.
Yeah, 12 fumble recoveries. 108 sacks, like we talked about. 462 tackles. 126 tackles for a loss, which are not counted doubled up with sacks, by the way. So that's 126 tackles for a loss in addition to his 108 sacks. And he has 225 QB hits during his career. Okay. All right. So as we look at that, I just had to take a look at my other friend, Jair Alexander. So this is our superstar guy that we've invested in. He's so amazing. He's also been named an All-Pro and Pro Bowler, and everybody says how great he is. In comparison, Jair Alexander, 7 years in the league. Okay. 7 years in the league.
Real quick. And the reason why he was drafted was because we didn't draft TJ Watt and we drafted Kevin King, who sucked. And we were forced to draft Jair Alexander the very next year at the same position that we didn't take TJ Watt at because we took a stupid guy who sucked at corner. And then we drafted a corner the very next year. Okay, we'll continue.
And we would have never drafted Dayton Jones had we drafted TJ Watt as well. Just saying. All right. So Jair, 78 games in 7 years. Jesus. He has 12 interceptions. Watt had 7. From a very different position. 70 passes defended in 7 years. Watt had 49, and he doesn't. He plays outside linebacker. 3 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, 1.5 sacks, 287 tackles, 12 tackles for a loss, and 2 quarterback hits. So you tell me, who's more valuable? You tell me why the Packers like to draft the guys they draft versus football players. Because you know what TJ Watt was at Wisconsin? Yeah, he was a great athlete, but he was a goddamn football player. And for whatever reason, these GMs, over the Packers' history, goes all the way back to Ron Wolf, and Ted Thompson learned under Ron Wolf, and Brian Gutekunst was around, and Brian Gutekunst was around under both the guys. They don't draft Wisconsin football players, which makes no sense.
Troy Vincent, Terrell Buckley, really
stupid. Quinn Miners,
Josh Myers instead of Quinn Miners. Or Creed Humphrey, who's a Pro Bowler. Or Landon Dickerson, who's a Pro Bowler. 2 guys we wanted the Packers to take. And we took Josh Myers. And then those 2 guys both went right after we took Josh Myers. And those guys are Pro Bowlers, and Josh Myers is Josh Myers. We all know what he is. He's definitely not a Pro Bowler. And that's the second round, not the first round, but you get the point. Yes.
I'm sorry to do it, but
sucks.
The guy won. The guy won his.
Well, the other thing is the other guy. You know who the guy we all wanted at Jair's pick was Derwin James.
Right, Derwin James, who had some.
Who's also, guess what? He's a fucking Pro Bowler.
Yep.
Every one of these guys was a pro. The fans knew. Who do we want this year? Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, look at him.
Who's awesome.
Yeah.
Who do we get? Josh Morgan. What's he doing? Oh, yeah, nothing.
And put that together with some of the guys you drafted late. Like if you make good decisions in the first round, because the Packers have had some good picks in other rounds.
Late rounds, yeah.
So if you make some good decisions on the early round picks to go along with your history and track record of making good decisions on the mid and late round picks, damn, where could you be right now? You might be one of the top echelon teams. You might be fighting for the number 1 seed instead of scratching to stay out of the number 7 spot, so you don't have to play Philly and go to freaking Philadelphia in the first round. Although the only thing that gives me a little bit of juju is we were the final wild card spot, went to Philly in the first round in 2010. And then we went to
Atlanta,
the number 1 seed.
And Tremont Williams with the big pick 6.
In a dome, a dome, and had to play him. And that's what would happen too. It's going to be Vikings or Lions in a dome if you get past the Eagles.
Yeah,
and
we don't have Tremont Williams, dude.
We don't have Tremont Williams, and we also don't have the crappy Bears to play in the NFC Championship. That's the only other problem. So, but we'll see. But here's the thing I'll say. If Jair Alexander, because I was thinking if he came back, before we found the news and he's got the knee thing and blah, blah, blah. If he was going to come back, the only way I was going to get off his case was if he had if the Packers made it to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, and he was a big reason why they got there, just like Tremont. Like if he had a historic run in the playoffs like Tremont did, I'm not going to say he's nearly as good as Tremont because he wouldn't. His career wouldn't stack up, but at least I'd get off his back. But here's what we got. And I'm not on him because he's injured. I'm on him because he's always injured and isn't that good to begin with, but still thinks he's the best cornerback in the league, wanted money that he's best cornerback in the league. His GM gave it to him.
Well, the Packers continuously tell you that he was the best corner in the league, just like they said that this guy was the best this guy in the league, and this was the best this in the league, and this was the best this in the league.
And they do it to justify their money, how they spend it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for believing in your guys and staying, whatever, but who are you? It feels like to me the Packers are doing when they make these decisions to pay, their first round picks top dollar to keep them on the team. They're not doing that to invest in their guys. They're doing that to try to say that they were right. They're doing that to try to say the GM was right in picking this guy first. He's so great. So rather than it being about, yeah, we really believe in this guy and we want to value our guys and bring them back, that's fine to do at a reasonable value. When you're actually evaluating their worth and paying
like
them
bringing back Micah Hyde would have been one of those moves, but it's only if it's a draft pick that's high and they want to not look like a dumbass.
But I mean, if you were like, hey, Jair, you had some good moments in the first couple of years, not as good here lately. You had an injury year. Let's bring you back at like a mid-range contract. Okay, I wouldn't be as hard on him then, even though he's missed a lot of games. Same thing with Kenny Clark. What if Kenny Clark was on like paid in the middle of the pack? Okay, he's fine. Once in a while shows up in a game.
No, but he sucks. I wouldn't even be fine with that.
But Rashawn Gary and, just
see, but and the Rashawn Gary making the Pro Bowl just feeds into what they already do.
Exactly.
That's the problem. How a guy makes the Pro Bowl with 6.5 sacks is a joke.
Jeff Hafley tried to explain it yesterday. He does a lot of other things.
No, he doesn't. He does a lot of nothing. He doesn't set the edge. He doesn't do anything.
Oh, JJ's here. Happy New Year, JJ. Happy.
We got to do our last video here. Let's go.
All right, last video. Oh, bad defense.
Let me know. Am I up on the screen or what?
You're up. Bad defense, good defense.
Okay, we're going to see some bad defense, and we're going to see some good defense. Okay, here we go. Wait, do I have it on slow motion? I don't even know. Oh, man,
I don't know. Slow your motion. Sorry.
It seems pretty slow.
Sorry for the bad memories, guys, but TJ Watt's awesome.
Here's some bad defense by the Packers. Here's the first touchdown pass, or the touchdown pass that was deep. Okay, as we're looking, we have one safety deep, and here's the thing that's really weird about this. Justin Jefferson is at the top of the screen. Why is Xavier McKinney so far down here? The Pro Bowl Xavier McKinney, why is he so far down here when Aaron Jones is coming out of the backfield over here, and we have somebody in the flat? We have a corner over here covering Justin Jefferson. On this side, we have two guys. Why do we have three guys over here for Jordan Addison? But Justin Jefferson, who everybody says is the greatest thing in the world, we got nobody deep to help out there. And you might say, well, that play doesn't go to Justin Jefferson, Ben. Why would that matter? Well, here's the thing. If he was back here, it might have mattered. Or if he was a little bit further back. But he's so far up and not back, which usually I complain about the being back too far, right? Like in this play, if Justin Jefferson was the guy going out here, we're screwed. Is Xavier McKinney going to get back? No. But he could come forward. But let's watch. What?
His positioning is just really
very
peculiar.
Odd. Well, not only that, not only is he odd, but if he's up here, then the safety should be over here.
Yeah, but there's literally nobody to defend there. Like, why is he squatting at the 20?
Well, because if Justin Jefferson does the in route, he's there to cover it, I guess.
Well, yeah, but like you said, it's a lot easier to come forward than it is to turn around and go backward.
Yeah. So on the play, boom. Okay, Sam Darnold double pumps. I think he was going to throw here, and now he realizes he's so wide open. Now maybe Xavier McKinney is trying to force him into a throw because Xavier McKinney is already moving back before the ball is thrown. He knows something's up. But look at all this field back here that's wide open.
Yeah.
Now, Evan Williams maybe is a guy who's going to get over there and make the play. But, of course, Evan Williams is hurt. Instead, we got Bullard.
How does Bullard not see that, though, and make a better break?
I don't know. Too. But, I mean, that's some sad stuff right there.
Xavier McKinney's way too slow to play that.
Yeah.
If he's trying to bait him there, he's way too slow to bait him.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
that's just bad. I don't know what was going on there. The alignment was bad. The safety help was bad. There was no blitzing. It was a 4-man front. Like, I don't know what's going on here. There's no pressure. I mean, Colby Wooden's kind of there. And that's the other thing. Why is Colby Wooden jumping before the ball's thrown? Like, stay on the ground, and then when the ball's thrown, then put your hands up. But by him jumping in the air, watch. Oh, I guess it was a pump fake. All right, I don't blame him then. That's right. He pump faked. I don't blame him. I take that back. Apologies, Colby Wooden. Apologies.
And Eric Wilson has got that middle part of the field, that shallow middle part of the field kind of there. He's roaming. So it's really peculiar. Now, Jeff Hafley did say McKinney has the ability, kind of like a quarterback, to check stuff out there on the field, right? Make checks for the defense. So maybe that was one of his checks he made. I don't know. We'll find out. Actually, we won't, because they won't tell us.
Oh, we won't know. Okay, so now here's the play. Now, this is another one where Jaden Reed kind of beats this guy. Jordan Love probably should throw this ball right here. Jaden Reed's got him beat. I don't know what the route is. Maybe it's different off of here, so I can't blame him. But what this defense is, what I want to show is good defense. I don't know if this is man, if this is zone, or what the heck this is, because you got guys looking at the quarterback at the top of your screen. You're here at the 40-yard line. The corner is looking in. The linebacker's looking in. But then you got what looks like man here and here and here. But so maybe these guys are man on the tight end and on the back. And because the back stayed in to chip, or the back's coming out right here, actually, and Tucker Kraft is chipping, this guy's staying down, and these guys are covering. So they're keeping their eyes on the quarterback and keeping their eyes on the guy that they're covering. But Jaden Reed beats this guy, but he catches up and he plays good defense. And we also have two safeties deep, which is something that I complain about with the Packers. But watch how different the safeties play this. And Jordan Love's got a perfect pocket. And there's two up. I don't know what he could do here. I mean, he could throw to the 50, but the safety, Smith is there. He'll pick that off.
Yeah.
And maybe you could throw here, anticipating like he should know that Romeo Doubs is coming across this way. Maybe you throw it here because the corner's back is to you because they're playing man coverage. That's another thing. Like, how many times you watch Aaron Rodgers throw the ball to a guy who's not open, but the corner or the coverage guy is not looking at him, right? Because he's man coverage, and you just throw it right over his shoulder, and it's a completed pass because the receiver knows the ball's coming to him because he knows what the route is, and the corner doesn't know what the route is and doesn't even know the ball's coming. Jordan Love doesn't ever throw those balls to guys that aren't looking. Maybe he does once in a while, but not very often, right?
Yeah, but he also knows he can't place the ball where he wants all the time.
Also down here, look at this. On the bottom of the screen at the 35-yard line, you got Josh Jacobs is coming open right here in the flat for a check down with nobody here to block. Like, you can just dump this off. He's going to take it, go on good freaking I don't know how many yards. And it's third down. Just throw it right here, Jordan Love. Why is he trying to do like a super bomb on this play? But he's got a really good pocket, and I don't know what's going on. What's he waiting for? And then he chucks it. He wants to take all the shots to Bo Melton, who's double covered, who was never open on the play once. Let's go back and see when he decides to throw this ball.
Yeah, I don't know. This was
that.
a terrible decision. I don't know what the hell he's thinking here.
Look at the body language of him. He's throwing this ball right now. Bo Melton is covered.
Yeah.
Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This is supposed to be a good defensive play. It's not a good defensive play. It's a bad quarterback play. Again, I tried not to even. I thought I was playing good defense. It's actually another bad Jordan Love play. Oh my God, Jordan Love is worse than we all thought, guys. I'm telling you, there's so many bad Jordan Love plays. I am finding them when I didn't even want to find it.
And I wanted to see my man Bo actually targeted for once, but not on this play.
Well, he's double covered with the
like,
deep. Yeah,
he probably wasn't even running as hard because he knew he had no chance to get open on that play. So he's kind of like,
yeah,
he didn't expect Love to throw it there.
No, this is the second touchdown, and I don't blame Edgerrin Cooper because the two previous plays before this, Edgerrin Cooper was running his ass off and he made huge plays and stopped them. So he made 2 consecutive stops in the running game and then another thing on the play right before this. But his reaction time on this one is a little slow. He gets blocked on this screen pass to the running back, and then Xavier McKinney takes the wrong angle, and it's a touchdown. So you're going to see, as soon as this running back looks back for the ball, Edgerrin Cooper should just beeline straight now. Like, this offensive lineman is not going to catch him. But Edgerrin Cooper is a little tired. He's not aggressive here. He's not attacking. He should attack and be aggressive and go for the running back. As soon as he sees the running back look back, go to the running back. Go to the running back. His coach should be coaching him this week. Go to the running back. If you see the guy you're covering, look to the right quarterback, make a beeline to that guy. He doesn't. He kind of pussyfoots, then gets blocked out of the play. And Xavier McKinney is trying to cut this in route because he does see, there is a way for the running back to go this way. But the running back takes to the outside. Xavier McKinney is definitely not fast enough to get out there, and it ends up being a touchdown because Xavier McKinney is, even though he's a Pro Bowler, he's not that great. Edgerrin Cooper misses the tackle. And that's probably one of the things Matt LaFleur was complaining about. But I'm telling you right now, on the 2 previous plays, Edgerrin Cooper made great plays. And maybe he was just too tired. Look at him. He's got his hands on his hips. He's tired. Right. He probably shouldn't even be out there.
Right. He's a 21-year-old, 22-year-old guy, and he's gassed. So take him out.
Yeah. And this is a long drive that the Vikings have been on,
Right.
Maybe McDuffie should have been in there.
I do remember this because, I remember him making great plays, and then he had that one where he couldn't get the tackle, and I was like, damn, because he did make really good plays right before that.
Yeah. So this is the same play, and I'm sorry it's slow motion and it takes a little bit, but and there's he gets the ball out quick, and Cooper should have attacked it. That's his play to make. That's Bradbury, the center, who stinks according to Moe, and he's the reason why that's a touchdown. He blocked 2 guys on that play.
He said his pass sets are terrible. He didn't say he's that bad at.
Now I want to watch this. This is a play action play. Oh my God, this is a play action play. I want you to watch this because there's 2 things I want you to watch. First of all, down here, play action. It could be a running play, right? It looks like a running play. All the guys are kind of blocking here. Tucker Kraft's coming back. Looks like he's going to block here. We got engagement on a block down here at the bottom of the screen, right? Look at the top of the screen right here. I don't know if you can see by the V in the end zone, by the V in the I. That's our man, Harry Smith. He is already, Harrison Smith. He's already attacking Bo Melton. He's already attacking Bo Melton. The ball is still not even the play fake hasn't even happened yet. And look he's already attacking. This is the difference between what should be a Pro Bowl safety, who's been in the league for years. He's definitely a great player. We all know it.
I can't believe he's 35. Jesus.
And look at him. But look at him though. Look at his aggression. I want to back this up a little bit so you can see where he started. He's just kind of goofing off there, right? He's just kind of goofing. I'm just going to let it play. But watch Harrison Smith. Don't look at the ball fake or anything. But you saw where he started moving already, right? You saw where the ball fake hadn't even happened yet. So just watch Harrison Smith at the top of the screen and watch this play he makes on this ball. He doesn't care if it's a run. He has to cover that receiver, and he can read it like a freaking Matt LaFleur playbook. He knows the playbook. He knows it's a freaking wide receiver screen off of freaking play action. And he beelines it because he knows if it's a run, he's not going to be in the run play anyways. So he attacks it and makes the play. Now watch this. I'm showing this play because it's not a completed catch. But I want to show the difference between a good offense. This is a very similar play. There is no play fake, though. So the defense should be able to look and know what's going on. But what you have is 2 possible receivers on this side of the field who are going to come across and take away defenders from the play and you're going to have 11 who's going to be able to block, and then the running back should get this pass to the outside, which should be a touchdown. And watch how passive all the Packers are on this play because they're playing zone, right? And this is not a completed pass because it's a bad pass by probably only Sam Darnold play was bad. But look at the corner, whoever the safety is. This is Xavier McKinney. The great Xavier McKinney is standing here in the end zone. Now he's worried probably about this tight end. And this is the problem with zone defense is because you have to cover your zone, you can't attack plays. Like we just saw Harrison Smith attack because he saw it and he knew it and he read it and he went because he wasn't covering his zone. He was covering the man. And now because we're covering a zone, if this was a completed pass, this is probably a touchdown because there's nobody here. And if this guy gets a good block, we're going in. This guy's going in for the end zone for a 15-yard touchdown here. Now, it's a terrible pass by Sam Darnold, and it's an incomplete pass. But I wanted to show the difference between what Harrison Smith does in that man scheme that the Vikings played and the zone scheme that the Packers play. And how that's why we give up these, it's always end up, next thing you know, it's 1st and 10, right? And then first and goal from the 10-yard line. Then the next thing you know, it's 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Well, that's why. Because we're sitting in the end zone worried. Yeah.
Just to confirm, that was Carrington Valentine in the end zone there.
Oh, was okay.
I saw, yeah.
Okay, so whatever. Whoever it is. It's right. It's still a zone, and it's still back there because he has to cover the zone.
Yeah.
And you're giving a free rein, a guy the ball with a blocker in front of him with a whole bunch of grass.
Yeah.
And on the previous play, I showed you what man can do, and with a good player like Harrison Smith, who can attack and make a play, right? And this is just a play. I think this is I want to show this because of the PI on this is really bad. Yeah, right here in the middle of the screen. Romeo Doubs gets raped by number 2. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what they're doing here. Right here, watch Romeo Doubs. Number 2 is grabbing him. Romeo tries to inside. Look at that. He's trying to do his outside route, and he gets pretty much tackled. That should be freaking defensive holding. 5-yard gain. Packers, you know what I'm saying? Like, not called. This is early on in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
And also, Jordan Love is looking down here to this, whatever this is here, even though he's got his outlet pass here.
Yep, still does.
And if he was looking here, maybe they would have called it, but they didn't call it. He gets a little pressure because Walker got beat, and he chucks a ball that's kind of crappy, and maybe Wick should have caught it if he wouldn't have been tripping over his own feet, and then it's an incomplete pass. But I just wanted to show that play because that's the kind of stuff the Vikings were doing all game. In that man coverage, they were grabbing, holding, ripping, and Romeo Doubs. I mean, that's freaking defensive holding. He couldn't even make his cut to make a run his route. Not called. What are you going to do? You changed your plan. Yeah. If the Vikings they're letting them beat the crap out of us. Let's go beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff Hafley, change it up, buddy. Don't just sit back and let them do whatever they want. You gave up 370-some yards and a freaking personal best for Sam Darnold. So those are all my videos for today. I'm done. So we can do whatever you want for the rest of the show.
So I'll just bring this up because Hafley was asked about it and really made a lot of, basically a lot of excuses or gave a lot of leeway to Bullard. David points out it hurt when Bullard had to move back. I think there was another comment up here. I don't know if that was David. Oh, no, it was actually JJ said a lot of those plays on defense for Bullard gets totally lost. Maybe bad communication. Maybe. And Hafley said it's hard, right? He's a rookie. He's played different spots. They really like him at the slot and all this stuff and yada, yada, yada. But when they move him back to deep safety, he was able to do that, but it's hard to do and all that sort of stuff.
You know what you do? You know what you do? This is the thing. He's not good at free safety.
No, he's not.
He's not. But you know what he's really good at? Around the line of scrimmage. How many times have we seen him attack? He's good in the run game. He can cover in like the flat. He can do stuff around the line of scrimmage. Keep Xavier McKinney's ass back there. Don't let him run around and do whatever he wants. If you know your guy's not as good at free safety, but you have a veteran who's pretty good, okay, maybe Xavier McKinney's not going to make any splash plays, right? And he's your big free agent signing. Who gives a shit? Do you want to win the game, or do you want to make your free agent safety happy? Like, it's obvious Bullard can't play free safety. He doesn't know how to read the quarterback. He doesn't know what's going on around him. It's not his forte. It wasn't his forte at Georgia either. He was a box player who ran around and made plays around the box.
Unleash him.
That's what you do. He's like it. I mean, I don't understand it. Like when Leroy Butler was on the Packers, he always had either Darren Sharper, Eugene Robinson. They were the free safety. Leroy was able to go and run around and do crazy stuff. Now, he was the playmaker, right? And if you want Xavier McKinney to be the playmaker, you have to have a solid, smart guy or a fast, young guy who knows what's going on, like Darren Sharper was or like Eugene Robinson was. And we had that with Evan Williams. But with Evan Williams out, and even Zane Anderson was pretty damn good back there.
Yeah,
but
he was doing
Bullard
good.
has issues back there. I don't know what it is. He's not used to it, whatever it is, but it's not his forte. But he's pretty damn good in the box. And Xavier McKinney can do either one. So as a head coach or as a defensive coordinator, you should know that. And you should say, okay, Xavier, here's the deal. Zane's out. Evan Williams is out. We got to play Bullard, but we got to keep him around the box. You're going to be my deep safety on most plays. I know you're going to be probably not in the play most of the time because most plays won't come to you, but that's the way it's going to be. And, you know, too bad. Sorry. And we showed the first touchdown. The issue was because of that. The play I just showed now, the issue was because of that. Bullard having issues back there.
Yeah. Well, and maybe it's just you put him back in a spot and he doesn't know what to do because he's used to just being close and attacking what he sees. Yeah. And back here, he's got to look over here, look over there, be aware of like all the different route combinations.
Yep, you're right. He has more to worry about back there.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to be able to visualize and prioritize what the issue is and then decide and go. And if you can't, I think he doesn't prioritize or know what's going on. And he's like, oh, crap. And then he just sits there.
Right. Or he's
you
looking
have,
around
you have to
too
choose.
much.
You have to choose, right?
Right.
You have to choose.
I agree.
And sometimes you'll be wrong. Right? Like, I mean, Harrison Smith could have been wrong on that play.
Yeah.
What if that was a pump fake and then, you know, the wide receiver went around and got to hit where his zone was in the end zone, and then Jordan Love threw a freaking easy pass? Could have been a touchdown. That's the chance you take. But also, you watch film and you see Matt LaFleur's tendencies, as somebody said earlier, you know, on the screen here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and Harrison Smith's like, yeah, this play is run all the damn time. Fake handoff, freaking bubble screen, easy. I'll shut that shit down. And he did.
That's the way to do it. You see that crap, you just attack it. We have one guy that does that, and that's Keyshawn, but the other guys don't. I mean, Bullard would do it if he was close to the, and he's helpful in the run game too, especially on outside runs. If he's close enough, if he's able to be in that position, but if he's way back deep, it doesn't make sense. So that it goes back to coaching and knowing what your players are good at and putting them in the best positions to be successful, using them the best that you can. Right? I mean, what are we doing here? That's what player evaluation and coaching is about.
And I understand the thought. The thought process is you don't know who's going to be back there and what the coverage is going to be, right? And that's what Hafley's thinking.
Right.
But whenever Sam Darnold saw Bullard back there, he's like, sweet. And he went at him. You know, like I think there's 3 or 4 plays I played today that were just going at Bullard in different ways, either making him choose and choosing wrong. Or one time they just threw right at him on that in cut to Addison. And Sam Darnold's like, he's not coming up to make this play. I'm throwing it out of the in cut, even though he's standing there 5 yards from where I'm going to throw the ball. Because he knew he wasn't going to make the play. Because he doesn't see it. And if the opposing quarterback knows, especially now in the playoffs coming up, that you're not going to make that play, guess what? We're screwed. So why put him back there? It's not fooling anybody. Keep Xavier McKinney back there, because then the quarterback might be like, oh, crap, he might actually know what to do. I better not throw this ball 25 yards deep. I'll take the check down. And then when he takes the check down, guess what? Our best tackler at safety, Bullard, is there to make the play. See? And these are the type of things that coaches need to start figuring out. Like maybe your system is great. Maybe you want to try to fool somebody, and that'll work against a dumb quarterback or a young quarterback or whatever. But in the playoffs, take your guys, let them be the best players they could possibly be by putting them in the best position for what their skill set is. And that's not what they're doing with Bullard at this point. And unfortunately, then the fans rip him and say he sucks, but he really doesn't suck at other things, but he sucks at the things they're having him do right now. And that's a shame because I think he's pretty good at other things. And Xavier McKinney can do, actually, I think Bullard's better in the box than Xavier McKinney by a lot.
For sure.
And Xavier McKinney is way, way better in the deep safety than freaking Bullard. So it makes more sense to do that, especially if you're going to do cover 3 zone all the goddamn time. Make Xavier McKinney your cover 3 zone. Like, why are we doing this with Bullard? He's not a deep zone player. He just isn't.
Yeah,
Stop it. Stop it.
Right. And that's really what the coaches are supposed to be doing. Right? It's that.
And how dummies like us can figure that out, but the coaches can't. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. And I'm just an idiot. What the hell do I know? I didn't play football.
Well,
I tell you this, but I love it.
You are pointing out some pretty obvious or things that should be obvious to people who live it and breathe it and watch it and game plan and do all this stuff and spend their lives doing it. Like, how can't they figure that out? I don't know.
And you know what I did? I just watched the All-22 film yesterday. I spent an hour watching the All-22 film and just grabbed a couple snippets. There's a bunch of things I didn't even grab that I could show you. We'd be doing this all night long if I did that. And then I put the videos together. I probably spent 4 hours on this. These coaches spend 8 hours on this stuff, right? Figuring out what the problem is. They spent all off season. They draft the guy. They spend the whole preseason with him, 2 months to learn what the guy's good at, what he's not good at.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
It's the same thing as when you see a bubble screen to Musgrave, and you're like, what are we doing? Tucker Kraft should get that freaking tight end screen, not Musgrave. Everybody knows this. But yet they still call it. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't understand. Like, they definitely do not put the players in the best positions for what their skill sets are. Multiple times in the game, they screw it up. Multiple times in the game. And it's kind of ridiculous. Like we said, too, Malik Heath. Put him in the freaking red zone offense.
Please do it.
He's a great blocker. He's a big body, and he's got good hands. He's not fast, but who gives a shit when you're freaking 2 yards from the damn line of or from the end zone? He'll catch it, and he'll get you some touchdowns. Get his ass in there. No more freaking Jaden Reed. And Christian Watson's useless. He doesn't have ball awareness.
Especially in the, inside
the real close red zone. Yeah, like within 5 yards. Like, just get Malik Heath in there.
Yeah, inside the 10, forget it. Christian Watson, just take him out. He has zero value inside the 10 if he was there. And you need like Romeo. You need those guys, Romeo, Jaden, or Romeo and Heath, and then get your tight ends in there. Like Tucker. Then you could maybe try to use Musgrave to draw some attention, but Tucker, get him out in the flat. Give him
Musgrave's not. I don't. Have you seen? Does he seem like a red zone tight end? Like, does he get hands up?
I'm just saying, like, he's a big, tall guy, so he could maybe draw some attention. Like, if you just run him straight up in the seam, don't make him change direction though, because then you're in trouble.
No.
Some guys are talking about Kalen King. They want to see Kalen King on the field.
I would like to
see.
Can't hurt
him. But Jeff Hafley said he thinks Stokes is getting better, and I would agree.
He has been better, but that's not mean he's good.
Eric Stokes has ever played, and I don't think it's good, but he's slightly better.
Yeah, 1 is better than 0. That doesn't mean it's a great amount, right?
Carrington Valentine doing some good peel offs like we showed earlier.
Yeah,
and that's better than other guys. Here's the one thing that I just want to finish with, Ben. So we talked about all this stuff. Matt LaFleur poo-poos Edgerrin Cooper's splash plays.
Yeah.
What is the NFL right now? I ask all the football fans and Packer fans, anybody else that thinks about the NFL right now. Does the NFL have shut down, dominating 3-and-out defenses at all? Is that the NFL game? Like, do you get a lot of 3-and-outs and shut guys down and just they can't do anything most of the time?
I think we're going to see some in the playoffs.
You think so?
But there are some teams in the playoffs that don't. Like the Buccaneers defense, not great.
Yeah.
The Lions defense, not great.
No, not good at all.
The Rams defense is pretty decent, but it's a lot of no-name guys who I think could be had. Like, we played them once already, but they didn't have their offensive weapons in that game. But on the AFC side, like the Chiefs defense, damn good.
But how do most
Bills defense is crap? Ravens is crap.
How do most drives get stopped? How do most teams get stopped?
They screw up because they're dumb. Penalty, holding call.
That's the bad team. That's the bad teams. Fine, but like, how do most good teams? If you're like a well-coached team and blah blah blah, most of those get stopped by 1 or 2 splash plays in a series of 3 plays. Like, what I'm saying is, you don't see just like stout. We're not giving up yards. You try to run it, you get a yard. You try to pass it. There's nobody. You might complete a short pass. We tackle them right away, and it's like a couple yard gain. You're not going to see that. That's not. A lot of these drives, teams will score points for the most part, unless they're the Chiefs this year. So what you're looking for is, how do we get some extra possessions over the other team on offense so we can try to score more points. And that's how a lot of teams are trying to win. And Matt LaFleur poo-pooing 4 TFLs by his young linebacker is freaking ridiculous, because those 4 TFLs probably help get you some possession, and that's how teams are winning games. And that's what they're trying to do. They're just like the Lions themselves. They know their defense is bad. So can they find a way to get a turnover? Can they find a way to get, somebody to screw up or get a sack or do whatever, get some couple splash plays to get the ball back? That's what teams are trying to do. And so Matt LaFleur has to understand the NFL as it is today and the value of those players, especially if you have multiple players that are making plays like that at the same time. That's how they can get, teams stopped. They're not going to be a dominant, super physical, even though they try to say they play physical, fast and physical. They're not going to be that. Not with the players they have. Some of the players are fast and physical, a couple of them. They got to find more like that if they want to become like this physical dominant defense, but they're certainly not there yet. So they got to make some plays and they got to get the ball back. And there's only a couple guys that do that right now.
Listen, here's the thing. Like,
yeah,
the defense style they're playing right now is not conducive to what you're talking about.
That's what Jeff Hafley talks about, though, every time. He says we want them to be fast and physical.
I know, but the problem is your players aren't smart enough to play that way, or they're not reactive enough to play. They're not smart, but reactive enough. Actually, you have to not think. You have to just see it and go. And if you're wrong, who cares? Just go. And that's why it's actually so confusing to me that Matt LaFleur would poo-poo the Adrian Cooper thing, is because he's seeing it and he's going and he's making plays.
Yeah.
And if everybody on the defense would see it and go and make plays, like, yeah, you give up probably 2 or 3 huge plays a game, but you'd make like a crap ton more, because you'd be dictating to the offense what's going to happen. And right now they're sitting back and doing the same crap we've been watching for 20 years. Well, not 20 years, but like 15 years, where they just sit back and let the offense do whatever the hell it wants and then try to control it. Like Carrington Valentine wouldn't have got that interception if Sam Darnold would have made a dumb throw. He was getting pressure at his face from Cox, and he just chucked it up there because he thought he had the guy open, because he thought that Valentine was gonna. It was a dumb pass. It wasn't. Right. And it was a good interception. I'm not gonna say it's not a good interception, but nobody impeded any receivers from the line of scrimmage. Nobody changed the route combinations.
Yep.
It was the one time where Sam Darnold made a mistake, and we got a pick off it. But it didn't help us win the game, because we couldn't win the game. Because we had no chance, because the Vikings were the one who were attacking and aggressive.
Right.
I mean, that one play by Harrison Smith proves it's the epitome of what the Vikings are, and what the Packers aren't. Is a veteran guy who's seen it all, and is like, hey, and not only that, all these free agents that they signed are veteran guys who've seen it all, and they're smart and they're good, and that's something we don't have.
Judah time, come on now. I can appreciate you believing in Jair.
Well, he's saying that when there's a stat going around that when Jair was playing on the team, the Packers had like a 61 quarterback rating, opposing quarterback rating, and now they have like an 89 or 92 quarterback rating, opposing quarterback rating.
This season?
Yes, and the Packers got a bunch of picks because Xavier McKinney. But the problem is nobody talks about the fact that they were playing crappy ass quarterbacks when Jair was playing in the games. Nobody brings that up, or they were playing the Texans, whose offensive line is so shitty that it didn't matter. That's why the quarterback rating was so bad. He got sacked 17,000 times. But
good
nobody
point
talks about that part. They just have their one stat that they want to talk about to say, "Ooh, Jair's good." No, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. What are we talking about?
Terrible.
The Texans' offensive line. What the hell are we talking about, fans?
CJ Stroud was terrible this year too. I had him in fantasy. He was awful. It is
a
good point.
Show video, because then there's no you can't fake video. You can't fake like stats and stuff. You could say, oh, this stat, this, oh, and this stat, and this, and you can, like Skip Bayless would always do. He'd find his one little stat to prove his 1 point, even though there's like 9,000 stats to disprove his point. But he would find the one that would actually prove it. But with video, you can't lie.
The tape don't
And
lie, right?
there you go.
Isn't that the name of those guys? It is a good point.
To Lewis Black with my finger pointing.
it is a good point that it kept Stokes off the field, which is
that is true.
Somewhat of a thing. Pass rush. You're right. I mean, come on. Sam Darnold had all day in this game. The Packers pass rush has to be better. I don't know. And Hafley's got to take a different approach. If you're going to blitz, you got to play man.
You got to play man because otherwise you're giving up the easy, quick throw.
And if you need blitzes to get pressure, then that's what you got to do.
And you got to play press man because you can't give up that throw right away.
Yeah.
You got to disrupt the route and disrupt the timing so that the blitz can get there.
Ooh,
if you just sit back and blitz, you're not going to get anything.
As a former player, just standing back waiting for the play would piss me off. Yeah, me too. I would hate to play it that way.
Well, I would make
before we go, JJL 2004 says who's winning, Vikings or Lions? Plus, who do you want to win? I mean, we want the Vikings to win. We said it last week.
Yeah,
we said it last week. You got too many good guys on your team now. The Vikings are a lot harder to dislike at this point with guys like Van Ginkel and Grenard and Aaron Jones and even Sam Darnold. Like, you got to like his story, right? The guy was crapped on and bounced around. And hey, redemption stories are awesome. I'm all for it. Like, Sam Darnold, go do it, buddy. I don't know if the Vikings will keep you, but.
And Jared Goff's a good redemption story too.
Yeah,
you know, the
sure.
team gave up on him. They pretty much gave him away for nothing. And actually, they had to give up a couple draft picks just to so they take them. And
somehow the Rams are still doing well and in the playoffs. It's like, it's crazy.
But but the Lions, the reason why I don't like the Lions is Amon-Ra St. Brown is freaking pissing me off. He's a douchebag, and I'm done with him. And not only that, Dan Campbell is a nice, awesome, crazy guy and stuff, but he does too many dumb things.
That's true. I think
I don't think the Lions can beat the Chiefs because they're too dumb, or anybody, or the Bengals, or the Bills, or anybody. I don't think they could beat them. It's supposed to be another AFC win again. I think the Vikings could beat anybody because of KOC is a good offensive coach, and the defense of the Vikings is crazy and aggressive, and they do crazy stuff, and they have a chance to beat anybody ever. And the Lions, they just have too many injuries, and they got a dumb head coach.
Yeah, KLC is a really good coach. You guys are lucky there.
You don't believe we're true Packer fans who want the Vikings to win.
What?
See, that's because you didn't hear the second part of it there, Mr. Viking fan JJL 2004. We want the Vikings to win because of this. Because after the Packers beat the Eagles, then the next week after your bye, the Packers come to the Vikings. And then we knock you out. So you guys get first place in your bye, and you're all happy and happy. And the last time the Packers won the Super Bowl, they went on the road and beat the Eagles, and then they went and beat the first round team and knocked them out. And then can you imagine that, Viking fan?
That would be crazy.
If you were the number 1 seed and the Packers came in and knocked your asses out, wouldn't that just kill you? Wouldn't that just kill you?
It'd be so horrible.
That's what I want.
I said it before. Here's what I don't want is Eagles. And I definitely don't want the Chiefs. So what I would like to see is two teams that, if the Packers aren't going to be there, I want to see
Vikings
two teams
against the Bills. I'll take
that. Vikings, Bills, Lions, Bills. I'd be okay with either one because
I don't know about
then you'll have a team who's not won the Super Bowl before actually win the Super Bowl.
Or Bengals. Bengals have if some of the Bengals get in the playoffs, I'd be so
if they
scared
get in the playoffs,
of them,
they're dangerous. But I don't
they're
think
scary and shit.
They got a lot to go their way here. That's going to be hard.
By the way,
Chiefs,
quick shout out.
The Chiefs have to win, and the Chiefs are like sitting everybody. So
yeah. What is this? He wouldn't be here. Let's show this Jay, whatever this new thing you say.
It's gonna be the same for the Lions. Also, I would be extremely pissed if we lost.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. No, not in the NFC Championship game. You'd lose to them in your first playoff game. You'd lose to them. If you're the number 1 seed. That would even be worse.
Yeah, that's bad.
So yeah, I mean, part of me wants that too. So I mean, but I also love Aaron Jones, and I would love to see him win again. And the Packers crapped on his ass, and that's bullshit. So if the Vikings beat the Packer or whatever, they get to the get to the Super Bowl and win. Hey, listen, I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to show everybody this real quick. My wife got me this shirt for Christmas. Look at this. You see that JJL 2004?
Ooh, okay.
That's all 13 championships of the Packers right there. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's all of them. That's all of them. That's all. You know how many championships the Vikings have? Oh, yeah, none. And I hate to rub it in, but we can give you one. You can have one. And especially if Aaron Jones is on the team when you get your one, that's okay with me. Packers got 13. You guys can have one. It's okay. We won't be mad.
Aaron Jones comes back to the Packers next year.
And I'm not living in the past. I'm just showing you the truth. The Vikes don't have a. Well, they might have a championship. Do they have a championship?
I think they have one, but not a Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. They got one. Okay, I'll give you that. I don't know. I'm not a Viking.
The Lions have one too, but not a Super Bowl.
Not since 1960.
Yeah, Super Bowl era. So,
but yeah. So anyway, that's the whole thing there. Yeah. But it's good. Hey, we like having Vikings fans on here. Sorry, Jace, I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, it's good. I look. This year there are a few different scenarios I'd be fine with, but out of the AFC, I really wanted to see the Bills there, and not because of Josh Allen, because of Rasul Douglas, man. Hey, I want to see Rasul. Rasul Douglas didn't get a chance to win with the Packers because Aaron Rodgers held him back.
Aaron Rodgers is a douchebag.
Aaron Jones has shared a birthday with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, also that poor guy.
All the playoff losses,
a first name and a birthday, and all
the playoff losses. Aaron Jones shared with Aaron Rodgers too, because Aaron Rodgers couldn't win the playoffs in the big games. So I want Aaron Jones to win. I want Rasul Douglas to win. If those two teams made it, I'd be happy with either team winning. If the Packers make it, I'm gonna root for the Packers, obviously. But if the Packers
I gotta be honest, if it was the Vikings Bills, I'd root for the Bills. I love Aaron Jones, but I root for the Bills. Damn. One thing real quick, JJL 2004. Before you said, I don't think you're real Packer fans, and then you say living in the past, typical Packer fans. What are we? Are we typical Packer fans, or are we not real Packer fans? I think you're a typical Viking fan. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's what it is. Just like Viking Moe, who was on our show earlier. If you are a Viking fan, go back and watch Viking Moe if you like that. And he's a good guy. And I'm sure you're probably a good guy too, JJL 2004. I'm just giving you crap.
What? Losing the playoffs and losing the Super Bowl. Oof. Look, man.
No.
I don't know. We've lost both, and they both suck.
Yeah.
They all suck.
We've only lost Super Bowl once.
I know, but it sucked. It still hurts.
It only hurts because our quarterback was a dumbass.
I know. That's what happens.
We didn't, and we had Gabe Wilkins got hurt, and then we had big fat Darius Fat Boy Holland in there and sucked up the ass, and then they ran the ball at us the whole game. Darius had Fat Boy Holland, and they got freaking like 8,000 yards at carry with Terrell Davis, and that was the end of that.
He had migraines and couldn't even see what was going on.
Yeah, couldn't even see what the hell he was doing, and he ran for a bunch of yards. And then Jordan Dorsey Levens had like 2 carries in the second half because Brett Favre kept changing the play to a pass all the damn time, like an idiot. Even though we had the lead.
That's what happened
at one point.
Anyway, those are all the things. We didn't even talk about Packers and Bears. The Bears are terrible.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter because it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
I think Washington's going to win. It doesn't matter.
You think they're going to win anyway?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll take the 7th seed then, I guess.
I think we're going to be the 7th seed anyway. It's going to be a matchup from the first game of the year, and it's going to be a crazy game, and we'll see what happens. But I don't know.
It'd be nice to be the 6th seed, but whatever.
Yeah, I think the games are going on at the same time, so I don't know. I mean, the Bears are such a mess.
Yeah, dude. They're just a disaster.
But I don't know how many guys are going to play for us, and what Matt LaFleur said this week. Hey, you only have, you got to have at least 53 guys, or what? You only got 55 guys on the roster.
But I think it's going to be a Malik Willis game. I mean, he won't start, but I think he'll get in there pretty early, especially if the Packers have a lead. Then he'll put him in there. Or depending on what's going on in the Washington game, they might look at that score and be like, well, whatever. But
hey, JJL 2004.
That was the other thing we wanted.
We talked about that last week on the show. We had Viking Moe on. We spent a good 20 minutes on it or more. And Viking Moe had his opinion, who's a Viking fan like you, and we had ours. So I don't think my opinion's changed at all. So we're going to plug our show from last week. Go ahead and go back and watch that one. Give us another view on that, please. We don't get enough views. Matter of fact, tell everybody about us, please. Like and share and all that kind of crap. We usually don't say that, but we've been doing this for a long time. Like 5 or 6 years. I don't even know how long we've been doing this, but it's been a long time. And
we used to have Brew Year's Eve special.
Brew Year's Eve. We used to have a lot of good stuff. But
Bruising, bro.
the bottom line is this: we're not like any other show. We're bros. We're real life brothers. We grew up in Algoma, Wisconsin, which is 30 miles east of Green Bay. So we bleed green and gold, and we've done it our whole lives. And we would always talk about stuff all the time after the game. And Jason's like, dude, we should just do a YouTube show. What the hell? We talk about this crap for an hour and 2 hours after each game anyways. And might as well just do a show. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be good at that. And Jason, of course, was a broadcasting major. So he actually was on TV and did sports. And he's a professional, award-winning broadcast major right there. That's his award.
Award-winning sports journalist.
Award-winning sports journalist. And I'm just some guy. But I do love football, and I study a lot of football, and I never played, which sounds dumb. You're like, well, this guy should know what he's talking about, and maybe I don't, and that's fine. But I do love football, and I do like to watch a lot of stuff and follow. Mm-hmm. I love watching all 22. Football's my favorite sport. It's my favorite sport because it's so like cerebral. It's like an actual like a game, like a board game. And I love board games, and it's kind of like that where you're just this guy's doing this and this doing this, and if this guy does this, but not only that, you have real live pieces that make decisions and possibly could screw up or possibly you could make a play, which changes everything. So even though you have the perfect play on, you could have somebody screw up or have somebody make a play because it's real life and it's a real thing, and that's what makes football the best. And that's why I love it, and that's why we love doing the show. And hopefully other folks like to watch us and hear us. I'm a little crazy. Jason's definitely the more professional of us. I swear all the damn time. And it's really bad. I shouldn't, but I do. But that's the way it goes.
I feel like I've lost professionalism over the last few years.
You're way more professional than me. That's for dang sure.
I know, but the thing is, yeah, you know what's going on, and you're not afraid to say what you see and what you believe in, regardless of what the common thoughts are out there. Because we don't give hot takes to give hot takes. We give hot takes to show truth. We speak truth to whatever the misconceptions are out there, and that's whether it's popular or not. And that's why I've shown numerous times the truth about Jair Alexander on this show. We've talked about Kenny Clark. We've talked about all the overhyped Packers. We've boosted up the underhyped guys who are really good and don't get enough credit. And Ben shows a lot of plays that, again, tape don't lie. So he'll show you the plays and you see what actually happened in the game. Yeah. John's wondering your favorite board game, Ben.
Oh my God, John, how much time we got? We could do another hour and a half on this.
You got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. Well, here's the thing. Here's my normal all-time favorite game is a game called Champions of Midgard, but you have to get both expansions to make it like epic. All right. Without the 2 expansions, it's still a really awesome game. But with the both expansions, it's killer. It's like you're rolling dice, you're chucking dice. That's always good, but it's also worker placement and decision making, and it's also got.
Did we play that one? Did I?
Yeah, we played. Yeah, we played it on my birthday, and but anyways, that game is probably my all-time favorite. But lately, I've been playing a lot of Spirit Island, and that one's a totally different. Marvel Champions or not Marvel Champions. Actually, Marvel Champions. I play a lot of that too. That's another one of my favorite games. So I could go on and on. Like there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Heroescape. I love that game too. It's a little tricky. It's a little more random, but it's fun. So those are all Champions of Midgard. Jason spelled it wrong, but that's okay.
I tried.
It's we should know it's Vikings kind of stuff. So any Viking fan should like that.
Gard.
I don't remember, but it's not spelled like that. But anyways, that's what I would say. Champions of Midgard, Spirit Island, Marvel Champions. I like another game called Starship Samurai. That's a killer one. Let's see what else.
Nobody in my life plays board games, says David.
Man, David, I'm telling you, there's a whole world out there of awesome. The best part about board games, in my opinion, I'm just going to tell everybody, is the fact that you're hanging out with your friends. Like, get some beer. I don't drink beer, but if I did, it just hanging out and being able to be with your friends and just doing stuff. You know, that's the part that's the best. It's kind of like. And it's engaging. It gets your mind going, so it keeps you smart, and it also keeps you having fun. And like Jason will know, we played Viking Moe, that son of a gun. We get together once a year. We have a game weekend where we get together and we just play games the whole weekend. Me, Jace, Viking Moe, Raider Rick, who's been on our show many times.
You got to bring him back.
Nico has been at a couple of them. He wasn't at the last couple, but he's been at quite a few. Nico's a big board game guy too, and Viking Moe wins almost every damn game, and it pisses me off.
It does piss you off.
I still love playing games, and I don't mind losing because it's fun.
JJ plays chess and Life with Kids. David says nobody will play chess or anything. Oh, David, well, find some people in Alabama. Look, see if you can find a game club, or maybe just start one. Start one and invite people in and see how it goes. Playing John's
Elatro. I don't know what that even is.
On TV, listening to you guys on the phone, downing a couple of brewskis. Wow, damn, multitasking. Impressive, John. Favorite card game?
Well, what do you mean? Like,
I like, or 500, says JJ.
Yeah, those are good. I always had, I found euchre when I was in college. It's really simple, but it's just your basic, trick taking game. And it's just fun to mess with guys and table talk and drink beers and table talk. People get mad at you in table talk. But me and Eckes, who's a guy who's been on the show many times, we dominated in euchre all throughout college, and nobody could take us because we had all these cheapy table talks that nobody knew what we were saying, but we knew what we were saying, and we cheated all the time. And I love cheating in games too, just so you know.
That's why your son does too? Your son's the worst.
He cheats a lot.
He cheats. And even in like, especially in the team games or where you're co-working, to win the game or whatever.
Well, yeah, you could cheat then.
He cheats all the time. I'm like, dude, where are your morals? Where are your standards? Damn.
You don't care.
I'm going to tell you right now, cribbage is my favorite of card games because Dad loves it. It's the one thing Dad wants to play. You're going to have to play it when we get together for holidays. You're going to have to. We're doing a cribbage tournament, and you're going to have to. It's easy. I taught Evan and Connor, and who else played with us that night? I can't remember. But anyway, it's simple. It's weird. There's a lot of goofy things in it, and it's fun, and you get to make, people get excited about getting 2 points. And then you have different ways to win. You can peg them to death, or you can score points with your hand, or you can do both. But even if you don't have nothing in your hand, you can try to peg them out and get some points during the hand. It's kind of fun. You're going to have to play it.
I'm kind of I hate to say this, but I'm kind of a superficial gamer. I wanted to look cool. Like Champions of Midgard looks cool. Spirit Island looks awesome. Like these games look cool. Cribbage, kind of lame. I know you can make some cool boards and stuff, but
yeah, I got a nice board.
JJL 2004. It's 8 degrees by me. I live in Rochester, just north of you, and I'm somehow warmer than you. I don't know how that is.
Iowa, he said.
Yeah, he said he's northern Iowa. Well, I'm southern Minnesota.
Or she. I don't know if you're male, female. We don't know, but anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Women like the NFL too. Some of them. Not my
Chiefs fans, because there's a lot of Taylor Swift fans. Apparently, Travis Kelce got more votes than any other player for the Pro Bowl this year. Ooh. Probably because of all the Swifties who voted for him.
Well, how did Rashawn Gary get so many?
Nobody knows that. That's still a mystery to us all. How does Kenny Clark make $25 million a year? It's a mystery to us all.
Rashawn Gary is a great guy. And
he is a great guy. That don't mean he's a Pro Bowl guy.
And he's even a good leader, I think. I think he's even one of the defensive leader that's pretty good. Yeah. But as a player, he's kind of
average.
Yeah.
He's average.
Tries hard, but he's slow and not.
He runs upright. It's got a weird upright running style.
Bad technique. It's a really big target. It's an easy target to block. That's the thing.
And when you compare it to Clay Matthews, who was the edge rusher extraordinaire at 52 before him,
or TJ Watt.
Or TJ, why do you?
He's so good. He's so good. I love how the Packers could have just taken guys that fell to him instead of doing what they did, and we could be so different right now. It'd be amazing.
Dude, anyway, it's official. This show is longer than last week's show. What the heck are we doing? Why? How can two idiots blab for 2 hours and 40 minutes?
Because you don't talk to me the rest of the week. So when we get on here, then we talk forever. You got to talk to me more often. You got to.
I called you. We talked to you last night for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, you weren't really into it.
I was until about 25 minutes, and then I was like, I gotta go to bed. I gotta work at 5 in the morning.
Clark and Pro Bowl doesn't fit, says David. Well, plus the commenters, when they're commenting, I'm the one that interject because I got to bring it up, and then we talk about that too. It's good. JJ wondered what's going on with the Bucks. I don't know, JJ. Bucks will figure it out though. Don't worry about it. Never fear. All right, Packers going to beat the Bears again and still own them.
I don't know if they're gonna.
I'm watching the Lions and Vikings for sure this week. It's going to be fun. And I'm going to pull a little bit for Viking Moe, Aaron Jones in that one for sure. So But
well, I don't know what he's talking about.
I'm
What's
not giving
on
those. Let's see.
I didn't see that.
Went to Packer coffee cups at the Quick Star and all the time. What? JJ says he drove truck for Fastenal and Winona for years. Nice. Okay. Damn. Look at all these connections.
Cities we're talking about here.
We have. Look at this. We've created community here on our show.
Community Northern Minnesota and Northern Iowa. This is a Packer show.
The longer
that
we
branches all the way to Minnesota and Iowa, which is right next to Wisconsin. We're not really branching that far. Well, David's way down somewhere.
Yeah.
So I can't remember where he said he was. Like,
I thought he's in Alabama. I thought
Alabama. Yeah. Way down there.
Hope Cooper stays healthy. David's our guy from the South. He knows the Georgia players well and some other dudes well. And then John, or is it John? John sometimes shows up, the Bills fan who he gets on here. Mississippi. Sorry, David. Sorry. I apologize. Mississippi, not Alabama. Sorry. Clear distinction there between your wonderful state and the one next to you. Not as good.
Yep.
Although
just like Wisconsin's way better than Minnesota.
Although their stupid college wins all the games in Mississippi, not so much, but whatever. It's fine. Isn't that Cooper? Cooper was from Mississippi State, right? No, Texas A&M.
Who?
Edgerrin Cooper. Where did he come from?
He's from Texas something or other. Yeah.
Texas A&M, right? That was the thing. JJ's got line of Googles wherever he is.
What?
Vikings, Lions game.
Line of Googles is closing shop. It's ending.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they're closing up.
They're never making any more Line of Googles.
They're shutting it down because they sold to Miller, right? And then Miller was bought up by South African Brewing Company, and they're chopping out. Line of Googles is done. Only being.
I didn't know they sold to Miller. That's like a whole, like that was a big thing in Chippewa Falls, dude. Like that was like
they were independent until they sold to Miller, and then shortly after that, Miller sold to South African Brewing Company, which is a huge monster and owns a bunch of crap. And then so they could kind of pull strings and make changes, and that's what happens when you sell out to the big boys. The big boys can close you down or bring operations elsewhere. And so that is a big hit to the Chippewa Valley. It kind of stinks because Line and Klugel's brewery there was, maybe they'll make it a museum or something and keep it somehow going. I don't know. Maybe the community will. Go to Iowa State. All right, JJL 2004. Were you born in 2004? That must be it, right? I'm guessing.
Probably. If he goes to Iowa, that's probably it. Yeah.
So you're 21 years old?
Iowa State, is that where Wiegand is?
Yeah, that's where Alan Lazard went to school. And Wiegand is there. If you know Jason Wiegand, look him up. Check out Jason Wiegand. He's some sort of faculty-ish or faculty adjacent person at Iowa State. Check him out. Give him a shout. Tell him he found Hafen Bros. He'll know who we are. He grew up in Algoma too.
Yep. And he went to Eau Claire into college, just like we did.
Yep. All right. You guys be good. Stay good. Enjoy the last week of NFL football. Enjoy games. I bought Evan the Nebula Marvel Champions deck because it looked cool, but I don't know if it's actually good or not. But
it's not good. It's not good. But
damn it, it looks so cool though.
It is cool. Does he like that stuff? Because I can give him something for Christmas or something.
Yeah, he likes it.
Okay, I'm gonna give him some X-Men. Does he like X-Men?
Yeah, he likes X-Men.
Okay, good. I'll give him some X-Men.
Lazard went to crap. Damn it. Dallas Clark is from the area where you live. All right. Fair enough. Anybody knows Tucker Craft, group of Tucker Craft that comes on our show? Give me some. You got to give us your digits. We got to have you on the show. We want that. We want you to connect us with Tucker Craft. Get Tucker on our show. We'll take him. That's what we got to do. We got to get Tucker Craft to be a regular on our show, bro.
Or Lukey Patrick too.
Well, once he retires, he's retiring after this year because he got freaking hurt. Sucks.
Micah Hyde is back with the Bills, so he can't come on.
Is he really?
Yeah, they signed him back after their guys got hurt, but he doesn't play, I don't think, yet.
Oh, okay. Well, he's still a good dude to have around. He's smart and a good team guy.
So if he's on the team too, that'd be another good reason to see the Bills in the playoffs.
Damn it, Micah Hyde needs to win a Super Bowl too.
Mm-hmm.
Go get him, Bills. All right, John. Go get him for John too. You guys be good, stay good. We'll catch you next week. Right.
Tell me why I beg you to come.